So this is a box from the movie The Holdovers.
Yes.
And we held on to this box, and I don't know why, and I guess it was to put my gift in it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So the holdover box was a holdover.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, here you go.
Oh,
What is
flip
it?
up this
What is it?
It's not just funny. You can use it.
Great.
Yeah.
Dude, no, but I had asked my wife for this, like, for the past couple of years for
Yeah.
Christmas, and she never got it for me. It is a new robe. It's the kind of robe that I love.
Oh, nice.
It's like a giant towel.
Oh, is it monogrammed?
And it says Preston on it.
Oh,
It's
No, it
monogrammed.
doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it says Presbo.
Oh, it says Preston.
Yeah, it's even better.
better. Oh, I got to take this out and put it on right now.
Now,
Yeah.
I will tell you, it's not as thick as I wanted it to be.
Oh, really?
Is it veiny?
Ain't that always the case?
It is very veiny.
Yeah.
So some people like that. You know.
But you mentioned this on air last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
love this.
That's
Makes you
hilarious.
so good.
That's great.
He's good like that. All right.
All right. You're going to go high or low with the, because you got two here.
You got so much to tie up here.
Oh, wow.
With your a double strap.
I'm tired.
It's a double strap on.
It's got pockets. It's got pockets.
It's got
Wow,
pockets. You
man.
can put packs of cigarettes
Anything
and
with
stuff.
Yeah.
pockets
smokes
is
in
great.
there.
Yeah, for your edibles.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that was.
Put my edibles.
We were talking last week about robes, and my mom and dad were robes people. But yeah, my dad's Marlboro Light 100s always sat in that right pocket.
That's funny.
Yep.
Oh, this is.
It looks good,
that
man.
guy's done,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
wonderful.
That is awesome.
Presbo. It's the best. All right.
Hey,
All right.
all right.
All right.
All right. Let's go to the phone and see if we can get an answer to the stupid question this morning. I'm wearing my robe right now as we speak. So let's see. Name the only feature film actor whose entire resume was movies that were nominated for Best Picture. And we will go to Joseph, see if we can get the answer. Hi, Joseph. Morning, sir.
Good morning and happy birthday, Preston.
Oh, good morning to
Hey.
see you and thank you. All right, Joseph, who is the actor whose entire resume was nominated by Best Picture?
One of the greatest actors ever, played Fredo Corleone, John Cazale.
That is correct. Yes. Yep, hang on the line. I'll give you the. That's him. I'll give you the full rundown of the movies here in a second. But we're going to give you tickets to go to the Tattoo Arts Festival this weekend. Get tattooed by 1,500 of the world's best tattoo artists. You can see live human suspension, sideshow acts, and more. It's this Friday through Sunday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Visit villainarts.com. So not only The Godfather, but The Godfather 2, The Conversation, Dog Day Afternoon, and Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
That was his entire, and then he passed away, unfortunately.
Brain tumor.
Yeah.
And he was in a long-term relationship with Meryl Streep, who adored him, and he taught acting to a lot of the other actors of that time.
Yeah.
A real force, amazing actor.
Absolutely. So that's a great question. Thank you, Roy Perry, for submitting that to me.
Roy Perry's like Bigfoot in these parts. You spot him all over the place.
Just every now and
Yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah.
but for just a moment.
Only for a moment.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go through some entertainment stories on Monday nights, starting February 12th and through the 2024 election cycle. Jon Stewart will be returning as host of The Daily Show. Comedy Central announced the news yesterday, following a year-long search for Trevor Noah's replacement. The president and CEO of Paramount Media Networks, Chris McCarthy, said in a statement, Jon Stewart is the voice of our generation, and we are honored to have him return to Comedy Central's The Daily Show to help us all make sense of the insanity and division roiling the country as we enter the election season. In our age of staggering hypocrisy and performative politics, Jon is the perfect person to puncture the empty rhetoric and provide much-needed clarity with his brilliant wit.
So I wonder this. He has his show on Apple TV, and that is apparently wrapping up.
Yes.
I wonder if he takes a little taste of this back on Mondays and decides, I think I want the seat back.
I'm curious too.
Yeah.
Because I mean he's had a nice break, and it's really his zone, and that's his home, and he made the show the success that it became.
Yes.
So I'm thinking the same thing,
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah. He hosted the show for 16 years, left in 2015. Other correspondents such as Jordan Klepper, Desi Leidick, Ronnie Chang, Michael Costa, and Dolce Sloan are likely to fill in as host for the remainder of the week, according to The Hollywood Reporter. So we will see. Eva Mendes shared her support for her husband, Ryan Gosling, on Instagram yesterday after he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Barbie. The Training Day actor also called attention to those who criticized his portrayal of Ken in her post. She said, "So proud of my man. So much hate when he took on this role. So many people trying to shame him for doing it.
How?
I
What?
thought he was getting
He's perfect.
nothing but praise.
Yeah,
for it.
that's all I saw was praise.
The backlash is really on the thing that Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated, and so it's unfairly landing on Ryan Gosling. He shouldn't be punished for also doing a good acting job.
Well, and it's the Academy. If you've got a bone to pick, to go after them.
And
you know how people are on the internet, Preston.
They're so supportive and really get it all. I would say this is that if you look at his people did the thing. You nominate, you put yourself up for the nomination, and you pick the category you want to be nominated in. He could have been put up for Best Actor. He's up for Best Supporting Actor. So it gets a little bit more competitive at the top level. A lot of people reacting to the fact that he is the secondary character. But America Ferrera got a nomination as well.
She did,
yeah.
Despite all of the Not My Ken ridicule and articles written about him, she said he created this completely original, hilarious, heartbreaking, now iconic character and took it all the way to the Oscars. So beyond proud to be this Ken's Barbie. She wrote.
Imagine the world he's living. He has to go home to Ava Mendes.
Oh, my God.
It's just got to be excruciating.
She is a goddess. She is absolutely amazing. A dude is, and he has the most perfectly formed ab muscles on any human being I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's living the life.
Son of a bitch.
This is pretty cool. Steve sent me this article this morning. Allentown-born actress Amanda Seyfried and author Liz Moore were in Philadelphia on Tuesday. They were doing a ride-along with police in Kensington, and it was for research for a forthcoming mini-series that's based on Moore's best-selling book called Long Bright River.
This sounds very cool.
It's set in Kensington.
Yes, yeah.
Is it about the heroin market there? Okay.
Well, it tells the story of Mickey, a beat cop who begins a desperate search for her sister who is struggling with heroin addiction and goes missing. Yeah, and it's loosely inspired by Moore, the author's own experiences volunteering as a creative writing teacher at St. Francis Inn, which is the long-running neighborhood soup kitchen and shelter. Seyfried's going to play Mickey in the book. It was originally optioned as a film in 2018. The 26th Police District, which includes parts of Kensington, shared photos on Facebook of Seyfried and Moore posing with officers. So have no idea when something like that's going to come out because she's just doing the research for it right now.
Saying about a year.
Yeah, maybe something like that. So that's pretty cool. So she'll maybe. Now, what it didn't say is if they're going to film here or not. I don't know, which would be wonderful.
That would be cool.
We'll see.
They say her love interest will be played by Gary Lauer, which is going to be awesome.
He's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Danny Masterson, who is currently serving time in California State Prison after being convicted of raping 2 women in 2003, has reportedly been denied bail pending his appeal. According to court records, the That 70 Show actor had a bail review hearing at the Clara Shortridge Fultz Criminal Justice Center. Judge Charlene Olmedo wrote in her Wednesday order that she deemed him a flight risk. She said in the order, if defendant's conviction and sentence are upheld on appeal, he will likely remain in custody for decades and perhaps the rest of his life. In light of the fact that defendant has no wife to go home to, defendant now has every incentive to flee and little reason to return to state prison to serve out the remainder of his lengthy sentence should his appeal be unsuccessful.
I wonder if that is a common judging metric for this. If you have family, how much does that figure into whether or not you're a flight risk?
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. A week after his sentencing, Bijou Phillips, his wife, 12 years, filed for divorce. But I think they
were on the outs to begin with.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Oh, I thought she was standing by her man.
I heard that was presentation for the court.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but who the hell knows? You're the entertainment reporter.
The following month, he asked the judge to grant legal and physical custody of their 9-year-old daughter, Fiona, to her with visitation rights for himself. So he's not getting out.
Did the judge mention your birthday at all or no?
It was a latter portion of the case, but I didn't want to bring that up here.
They're very busy.
It's about him. Cheryl Lee Ralph reflected on her journey as a black woman in Hollywood during an interview with Oprah Winfrey that was released yesterday. The Abbott Elementary actor spoke about her love for Quinta Brunson and shared the advice that her former co-star Robert De Niro once gave her. She was in the movie Mistress, which came out in 1992.
He called her a sick son of a bitch, didn't he?
Do we have audio of that somewhere? Maybe. I didn't even know we had that interview right here at our fingertips. Casey's going to have to search to
That's
find
all
it.
right. Yeah, we keep a whole special.
And she found it as actually endearing and, kind of encouraging. But if somebody called me a sick son of a bitch,
I would be put off by that. But you know how these method actors are.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, we need, now we have the audio.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Of course, I don't have this in alphabetical order, so I'm just going to have to go.
Will you just shut up for a minute and listen to me?
No, I'm looking for a sick son of a bitch.
Yeah. It's impossible.
I know. It should be on this page.
Liar, whore, you know it.
Wow, he doesn't like you.
Preston, help me because I can't read that fast, and now like I'm panicking because I have an entire page of De Niro.
You lied to me first.
I love those.
Some of these I don't know.
What the hell are we fighting for? We're friends.
I didn't even know we had some of these. Hang on a second here.
Okay, fine.
All right,
I never hear those.
Huh? I don't want to do this no more.
Okay.
Yeah,
done.
we all agree.
We're done. I agree.
But I found it.
You sick son of a bitch.
There it is.
go.
Was it worth it?
And who are we talking about originally again?
We're talking about Cheryl Lee Ralph. Cheryl Lee Ralph. So while filming the movie Mistress, the taxi driver actor told her, "You're a damn good actress, not a sick son of a bitch."
Right, yeah.
But you need to climb that mountain and let them know that you are here because Hollywood is not looking for, quote unquote, the black girl, and you need to be seen.
Was he specific, was he talking about Kilimanjaro or which mountain was he?
He didn't indicate, but she said they see you. He said they see you as a prostitute. They see you as a mistress. They see you as a housekeeper. They see you as not the leading lady. And then she goes on to say that's why it feels so good to not only be a leading lady, but to have quinta. When she was asked what it meant for her to be a witness to Brunson's success, she said, it says that every boulder that I had to be moved, every hurdle that had to be jumped over, every time I had to use my voice to speak out for more for women in general, but especially for black women who are being shut out just because of the color of their skin. She said, when I look at Quinta, who are looking at her, and I said, that's my child right there, and I see my child coming up over the mountain. And I'm like, yes, and here we are. So she's just happy to.
Have you ever watched pornographic videos?
That is not something you ask a co-star.
Yes.
Especially a woman.
A little inappropriate, but he's Bobby, man.
Yeah.
You know, we can call him Bobby.
You sick son of a bitch.
Thank you. John Cena is looking ahead at retirement, and fans may be surprised to learn that it may not be too far away. The professional wrestler and actor confirmed to Entertainment Tonight on Tuesday he plans to retire from WWE wrestling in the next few years. He made his debut 22 years ago in 2000.
22 years ago.
He said, that's not a maybe. He turns 47 years old this year. He said that time is going to come, and it's going to come soon. I explained that he never wanted to go out there in the ring just for the sake of going out there, especially because the fans are so passionate, which is something he values. He said, I'm going to be 47 this year. I feel great. So inside, I feel great, but I know what it takes to be a WWE performer, night in, night out. And I don't want to ever just want to go out there and do it to do it. I want to have the passion, the same passion that the fan base and I, that the fan base, as the fan base, and I want to give them exactly what they give me. He said he feels like his personal speedometer is telling him that he has to be done before he turns 50 years old. So he's 47, so he's saying he's only got a year or two left.
Like Dwayne Johnson hopped back in the ring a couple weeks ago, you know, so they sort of flirt with it, I think, but it sounds like he's going to bring the curtain down completely on it.
Guess so.
Yeah.
He has also started to realize that when he returns to WWE for short periods in between other projects such as filming Argyle, he said it takes its toll more and more on his body. But fans can still expect to see him in the ring occasionally following retirement as he still plans to make appearances here and there. So he'll always be in that.
Yeah.
Is there another Peacemaker?
Supposed to be.
Okay.
I loved the Peacemaker series.
Me
So it's
too.
one season. Preston's about 6 episodes. Was it 6 episodes? 8 episodes?
I feel like there's 8, but
Preston?
not enough.
You'd love it. I know you'll never get around to it.
I
'cause there's
watched
so much.
No, I watched
Yeah.
the first one,
Yeah.
and I thought it was cool. I just kind of hit superhero burnout.
I got it.
For a little bit. So.
I got it.
Speaking of superheroes, Tom Hollander revealed on Tuesday's episode of Late Night with Seth Meyers he once mistakenly received one of Tom Holland's paychecks.
Okay, but who's Tom Hollander?
So he was in Oh man, what was he in? He's in The White Lotus.
Yes.
He was in that first season. Isn't he the hotel manager?
No, that's Murray Bartlett.
Hold on. Oh, he's in the second season. He's the quote unquote uncle.
Okay, I didn't get. I think I've only done the first episode of the second season.
The guy that has like the villa back on the private island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's him. Right.
Yeah. So
He's certainly not at the Tom Holland level.
No. So listen to this. He said, people in the accounts department of my agency got confused. We were with the same agency briefly, and it was a terrible moment. And he said, I went to see my friend who was doing theater in England, and I sat smugly in the audience just having done a BBC show for $30,000. The interval came, and I checked my email, and I got one from the agency saying, payment slip for first box office bonus for The Avengers. And he said, it was an astonishing amount of money. He said it was not his salary. It was his first box office bonus, not the whole box office bonus, just the first one. He said it was more money than I'd ever seen. It was a 7-figure sum. So he was just
And that was the first bonus.
oh my God.
So it wasn't Avengers money, but one time Nick Murphy, who used to work here, got some appearance fees that were owed to me. And at one point here at the radio station, there were 3 different Nick M's working. There was a guy named Nick Minnick who worked across the hall, and then Nick Murphy, and then me, Nick McElwain. And there were mix-ups with emails quite frequently, but Nick Murphy got money, and Nick Murphy noticed it right away, and we sorted it out. But it was just
spent it.
Yeah,
Well, it was 7 figures.
Bought himself a brand new camera. Yeah, Steve, it was Avengers money.
Yeah, it was Avengers money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. What was it for? It was one of the football appearances.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this guy couldn't believe it when he saw it. Priyanka Chopra shared and then quickly deleted a photo that appeared to be from a double date with her husband, Nick Jonas, and brother Joe Jonas, and model Stormy Bree.
Was it a beaver shot?
They didn't say.
No, somebody didn't like the way they looked.
Yeah.
Nice beaver.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
So the photo shared her Instagram stories on Monday showed 4 hands clinking glasses. One of the hands had a tattoo on it that closely resembles the model's.
Oh, it was just
Just
the
hands or
glasses? It wasn't even
hands?
faces?
Yeah, so maybe they didn't
maybe not.
want the world to know that they're dating a Jonas just yet.
Or their hands didn't look good.
Or
in
the hand
picture.
didn't look good.
Oh,
She had
lady
man
hands.
hands.
Man
Oh,
hands.
dear God, I have a lady hand.
Yeah, man hands is a thing. That
Yeah.
could have been.
3 hands and a claw.
Steve, the other day I saw it was a story about vintage ads.
Yeah.
That were way out of date into aligning with today's treatment of women, and like there was like 15 of them that were all about dish pan hands.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and the guy's like, how can I come home to a wife with dish pan hands?
Oh, you're not giving me a hand job with that.
Oh, and you're gonna judge me with your ring around the collar.
Yeah, totally.
If you think you're putting that on my pee-pee, you're sadly mistaken.
I got this new lipstick. It's like a TikTok trend.
If you think you're...
If you think those
Was that mouth? No.
I got this new lipstick. It's a TikTok trend, and everybody's, posting their video of them trying it and the color that comes out, whatever. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I bought it. I was like, I want to try this lipstick. It's cool. And I made the video, and I was like, should I post it? And I watched it like 100 times, and I was like, my hand looks like my dad's electrician hand. I was like, I'm not posting this.
Can I when you if you could take a look at it, can
I'll
I
show it
see?
to you.
Because I'm sure you're way oversensitive to something no one else would notice.
I don't think, I mean, now I really can't post it because I've said it,
You
but
said it, yeah.
I don't think anybody, probably my best friend would have been like, oh God, you have man hands.
Do me a favor. Let's recut it and then cut me in standing
your
there with
hand,
lipstick, so
be
you
great.
can explain your hand.
So
Oh,
they,
look, legitimate old man's next to me.
they deleted it, so we'll see. All right, a couple other quick things. It appears Bradley Cooper and Gigi Hadid are still going strong.
Listen, when are they both going to
When
come
are they
in
coming in?
Together for a 4-hour appearance?
Well, somebody's birthday is today,
That's
Steve.
right.
Hey, Bert Kreischer did it, Gigi.
They were seen wheeling their suitcases through an airport together in New York City on
They have
Tuesday.
wheels on their suitcases?
Too, yeah.
Oh my God.
They're celebrities, man.
I do have a connection to them. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that it'll end in them coming into the studio, but I do have a connection who is directly,
Yeah.
in contact with them, hangs out with them. So Well, I'll try.
Okay. Thank you.
I bet it'll happen. And you know who's going to drive him? One of the Kelsey brothers will drive him here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably. Well, probably Jason.
Jason will pick
Jason?
him up.
Yeah.
All right. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the Bear actor Ayo Edebiri has been chosen to host Saturday Night Live on February 3rd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's going to be joined, listen to this, by musical guest Jennifer Lopez as well.
J-Lo?
Yeah. Dakota Johnson is hosting the week prior to on January 27th with Justin Timberlake.
Do you think Ben Affleck will show up?
We would hope so,
I'd
right?
like to apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
We haven't heard from that guy in a while, so thank you.
I apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the Philosopher of Evil, and the Skull Sealer.
Do you know that I have, on more than a few occasions, tried to search for that guy?
That guy, yeah.
And find the video.
Right.
I think there's video that goes
There
along
is,
with it.
yeah.
And I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I think there's a high probability that Ben Affleck will make an appearance at some point during that show, and then I also think that
he's hosted.
When Justin Timberlake is there, I'm predicting him and Andy Samberg.
Okay,
Really?
yeah, D in the box.
D in the box.
Yeah, we'll see
So
about
this is from the bit that Ben Affleck was. Hi. That's when he's at a facility for people who are I don't
mentally
know.
unstable.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mentally unstable guy is saying, "Don't do the movie Gigli."
That's right.
he's saying, "No, trust me, I know what I'm doing."
So on Wednesday, Tiana Taylor announced on Instagram the planned biopic about Dionne Warwick will begin filming this year, and the 1001 actor is set to play the walk-on-by singer. She is going to play Dionne Warwick.
She just received a Kennedy Center honor, and they did a review of her life. Man, what an incredible talent.
Yeah. Taylor wrote to Dionne, she said, "Your music and social involvement has enhanced the culture. Your soul and artistry serves as an example of not only resilience and strength, but faith and purpose."
But she screwed up royally. She asked at the bottom of the note, who will be playing the Pips?
No, she wrote, "Thank you for trusting me with telling your iconic story. We're so excited to make you proud." This is great news. Ryan Reynolds shared on Instagram yesterday that Deadpool 3 is finished filming.
Excellent.
He wrote, "The suit hides blood, also sweat. But today, with Deadpool wrapping, it's mostly tears. A giant and forever thanks to the cast and crew of our film who battled rain strikes, and Hugh Jackman." And he had it alongside a photo of his Deadpool costume. He wrote, "All under the stalwart leadership of," and then it must be the director's Instagram handle.
Shane Levy.
Yes, S. Levy Direct.
Or Sean Levy, I mean.
"I got to make the movie with my closest pals, and that doesn't happen very often." He said, "See ya July 26th.
I just watched the second one again, and it's on all the time, and it's hilarious. The density of those scripts, there's jokes flying fast and furiously constantly. So to put these things together is a huge task.
And then the final thing I have for you, Variety reports that all 6 seasons of Sex and the City will soon be available on Netflix.
Well, there's a birthday present for you.
Thank you. The show, which originally aired on HBO from 98 to 2004, is scheduled to hit the streaming platform in early April.
How far are you through Northern Exposure?
I'm on the 4th or 5th episode, so I'm using it as my exercise show, right?
Right.
So, but I'm loving that.
And Sex and the City will be your purging show.
There you go. All right, we'll do the clips now. Here we go. Cold Copy follows an ambitious journalism student who manipulates the tragic story of an innocent but cocky teen to make her story pop. And in this clip, Jacob Tremblay, who is naturally shy, talks about how playing talks about. It says talks
your
about
birthday.
How playing a loudmouth character
Is great.
it is awesome. Here we go.
I always naturally put my hands in my pockets, but I mean for him I guess he just doesn't really care. He kind of has a careless attitude. And the thing about Igor is that he really steps out of his comfort zone naturally. Never really done that myself, but it's cool because that's something that I had to do for this role.
You fat ass pussy.
Cold Copy opens tomorrow. Here's our next clip. Miller's Girl is about a talented young writer who embarks on a creative odyssey when her teacher assigns a project that entangles them both in an increasingly complex web. Here, star Jenna Ortega talks about what she loves about the movies.
One, when you get adrenaline afterwards, like you're excited to participate in life. And two, when you get in the car and everyone is speaking over each other because they're arguing, their opinions and what they think. It's why we go to the movies in the first place. It's what makes us feel, excited about art, and it's something that's attainable to everyone.
I want to see you naked.
Miller's Girl opens tomorrow, by the way. And that's it. That's the entertainment report for you this morning. All right, we will take a break. When we return, Eric Lindros is going to be on the show.
Can't believe it.
We're going to talk to him via Zoom, and we will be calling someone, maybe you, if you have entered for our contest. And the first thing out of your mouth better be this.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
Or you don't get anything. All right, so we will call a number randomly at some point during the interview. So we'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment, and we got some other things happening as well. We'll tell you about it when we return. Stay with us.
Go do lethal weapon.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. We'll get Eric Lindros on in just a couple of moments. He's going to be joining us on our phone. Quickly, before Eric gets on, I would like to congratulate Westchester University's cheerleading squad.
Yeah.
They won the all-girl game day competition at the Universal Cheerleaders Association Championship.
Wow. Is that down in Universal Studios in Florida?
They did it. They had the event in Florida, I believe, Casey.
Because they used to always do that in Disney, Wide World of Sports.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Richard Curtis used to be the our buddy. I'm not sure if he still does or not. I don't watch it every year, but I think they had year after year is to be the guy who covered it.
And Bring It On, don't they do it down? Don't they have the competition down in Florida?
I think so.
I don't know that movie.
But anyway, also, and I saw this yesterday when we were going live on Fox Good Day, they were at University of Delaware, and they won for like the 6th straight year a championship.
I think Wilmington University might have a squad that competes on a national level. And then, they ended up having that TV show, I guess it was on Netflix, because there is a school, I guess in New Mexico or whatever, maybe the Southwest somewhere, that's all they are. They are a cheerleading school.
It's a dynasty. We have audio of that performance, Preston.
I knew it.
Yeah, you know.
We all keep alive. The pep rally got us pumped. The band made us jump.
Yeah.
We traveled to Dallas, Texas for a competition our senior year. I forget what exactly it was, but that was the only time I was in Dallas. And we went with the cheerleading team and we competed there. And it was cool. It was like one of those big competitions like that. And we weren't obviously a school that, focused on cheerleading. So when we were invited, it was like a pretty big deal for us.
Look at that.
Did you, were you a flyer?
I was early on.
Or were you a base?
So early on, I was
a base.
I was a flyer. No, and then yes, I was a base.
Yeah, only the tiniest of people are the ones they chuck up in the air. They call those flyers.
Yeah, and during any performance, they get about 9 or 10 gynecological exams as they're being hoisted up into the air.
Well, yeah, as we got older, I mean, those who grew at a normal rate ended up being bases, and then it was like, I mean, I remember the girl that I used to throw up. She was teeny.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so tiny.
But Kath, I mean, don't you agree that they have come a long way in the world of cheerleading? Like every single person, back in the day,
you would have a PIAA sport.
Yeah, but like back in the day, like. There a few girls could do a couple of back handsprings, a couple of back. Like now, every single the baseline is like if you can't do a double back tuck, you're not on the time.
You also know, Preston, you reported on the amount of injuries. If you're talking about sports across schools, the cheerleading teams have tremendous amounts of injuries.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to be a gymnast essentially. But I think it depends on what level, though, Casey, because it's not that way at all high schools or anything.
But the high school levels are way beyond what you and I went to. Way beyond.
But I like my local school, Souderton. They've got a great squad, and I went to several games, but they weren't doing any crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, and
it's a big school because they allow people who want to be on the team be on the team.
And I think sometimes they do like like your traditional what we used to know as cheerleading is cheering on the sideline, and then there's a competition team.
Okay, that's probably it.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah. So, well, congratulations to them. That's huge. So I don't know if Westchester had won before or not, but they are apparently champions now. So, does Donna have anything to say about that? Oh, hang on, Marissa. What? Well, go ahead. Yes.
Well, I don't know about Donna, but Eric Lindros is going to be ready in 1 minute.
Okay.
So let's talk to Donna.
All right, let me do that real quick. Yeah, I'll go to Donna. Hi, Donna. Good morning.
Good morning. So, St. Hubert's High School has 2 national champion cheerleading teams. They're reigning champions this year, the varsity team and their JV non-tumbling.
Okay.
And we have a third team that is 4-time national champions every year in Disney, and they are getting ready to go. It's actually our Super Bowl weekend. They will be going again to defend their titles. St. Hubert's is actually going this weekend to the Pennsylvania State Championships, which is this weekend. And we have so much talent in the Northeast besides St. Hubert's that go to these competitions every year in Disney. It's unbelievable.
Donna, you wouldn't happen to be a former cheerleader, would you?
And coach.
And a coach.
You sound just a little bit peppy and fired up.
Just when they come out at the beginning. When they come out, they're so excited.
Yeah.
I am their number one fan, and they are just a wonderful bunch of athletes. And you would not believe the talent in the Northeast. I mean, St. Matthew's is going.
Yeah,
Resurrection Grade School is going. Nazareth High School is going. Archbishop Ryan is going. There's just so much cheerleading talent.
I didn't realize there were.
Our girls.
I didn't realize there was separate categories like non-tumbling, and then so I guess that's the delineation we were talking about between the very athletic and gymnastic level, and then the ones who are just like Kathy's.
Some are more like dancing.
Cheerleaders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have a bunch of our St. Hubert's girls. I believe there's 3 on Westchester.
Okay.
I know we have 1 on Delaware. We have a bunch of girls on Temple. Temple, I believe, got 4th this year in their division, and it's just it's insane. And I am just so excited because when they go to nationals, I stream the video for all the parents and grandparents, and I literally lose my mind. My neighbors think that I'm being murdered when it's nationals weekend
Because you're screaming your head off. All right.
I love it.
Thank you, Donna. We appreciate the heads up. We got to run because we do have a guest we're going to go to. But
And you guys
thank
know that the Hey Bitches, Hey What has its roots in cheerleading.
Yes.
You know that. That is
like we used to do at the football game.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders,
William Penn
hey,
was
what?
the first to do that.
No. It was Little League cheerleading. Hey cheerleaders, hey what?
Oh.
Hey cheerleaders, hey what? Yeah.
And we changed it to Hey Bitches.
Hey what?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
And it's
you
now.
go.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Part of our nation's foundation.
All right. Well, listen, our next guest is ready. Speaking of cheers, hang on. There you go. That's a good one. Our next guest is online, ready to go via Zoom, and he's helping us out with a contest. We've been talking about it the last few days. We're going to get to it, and we are very happy to welcome our friend Eric Lindros.
Hey, bitches. Hey, what?
Yeah. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. I was giggling about that one.
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
How's everyone down there?
Dude, we're solid. We're getting ready for the weekend, obviously. And are you not in town yet, or
I'm coming in this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the alumni game, which is tomorrow. Obviously, we were talking to who we were talking to. We were talking to Fedoric the other day, and he said some people there's like practices, and the guys are getting ready to play a serious game of hockey here.
There is rust to be taken off always. Always.
I love it. But and we've talked to you many times over the years, but you keep playing, man. You play in men's leagues and stuff like that pretty regularly, right? You still doing that?
Not so much leagues. We just have a really good group of guys that get together and have some fun and try and slow down the inevitable decline of ability and desire.
But you know what? When you guys get together with the old crew, it's got to be a bunch of laughs and a good time. I mean, I know you guys are playing hockey, but it's got to be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. There's some really good stories in there. There's ones you forget. It's great to catch up. This crop has got some newer guys in there, so I look forward to hearing some of the fresher, the younger ideas and the younger thoughts. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. It's wonderful. You got I think Joe is 80 years old. And,
Unbelievable.
Full mix of people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Watson, who's 80, and then Mike Richards is going to be there, and Mike was in the league not that long ago, so it really runs the gamut. And I love the alumni games. I'll be there tomorrow night as well, Eric, and they're just a lot of fun. there is competition, but it's fun on top of all of it. But my brother sent me a video of some of your highlights in the early '90s, and the league was very different then, right? You were running around the ice, skating around like you were a shot out of a cannon, and leaving your skates and checking a lot of different people. And so I want to know, when you came into the league, who was your favorite person to hit? Like, if you got somebody in your sights.
I don't think there is. I don't think we looked at it that way, or I looked at it that way. It's listen. It was about, if they're going to be hooking and holding, it was about getting to the puck and then making sure when you got there that there was a transaction.
It's a transaction. Well, Eric, now you're going to have the chance to hit an 80-year-old if you want to. So.
Well, no, it's on our side. We're going to, no, it's just, the game, the rules changed. The rules changed early in the 2000s. And I don't know, some might say it went a little bit the other way, but hey, listen, it is what it is. That was the way it was played back then, and this is the way it's played now. And I think in their own right, both are great.
Listen, Eric, you were young when you made your debut, and you had a chance to get in, and I'm sure play with people that you had admired for a long time, or maybe had even fashioned yourself after as a hockey player. Were you ever starstruck meeting your favorite NHL guys that first season or two?
I went to the Canada Cup, so it was kind of like the Olympics before where pros were allowed to go to the Olympics, and they used to hold these Canada Cups and other world events. And I went in to the training camp to try and make the Canadian team when I was 18, and on the wall is Messier, Gretzky, Paul Coffey. The list was forever. Steve Larmer, we didn't have video games back then, but every guy that you used to follow in the newspaper or watch the highlights of, they were all in there vying for a spot to make Team Canada, and it was a thrill just to be part of that training camp, and then to play there for the real tournament was really special as well. That was my big one. Yeah.
Did you ever ask anybody for an autograph?
I did not. I was
that would be weird.
Than that. I wasn't very cool, but I was cooler than that.
All right.
That makes any sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Flyers have had a lot of ups and downs over the last decade or so, and but a guy that you played with is now the team president, Keith Jones, and then Danny Briere is the GM. And this season, as a fan and as somebody who watches them a lot, it's a very different vibe in South Philly. And I know you sort of watch from afar, and you probably don't watch every night, but have you talked to Keith Jones about it? And do you know anything about like how things are kind of different in South Philly?
I don't. I mean, I can just, I talked to Keith when he was hired, and that was the last time I spoke. I talked to Danny a little bit after I talked to Keith. But no, I haven't spoken much I haven't spoken at all with those guys. So I don't know that end of things. But what I do see from afar is I think there's addition by subtraction that's gone on here. And, Provorov was a real talented player, but I'm not so sure that was the right mix of people. And by sometimes when you move somebody out, you don't have to do anything else. It just makes things better.
Right.
And I don't mean to point the finger just at Provorov. I mean, it's I think Danny's done a really good job of putting together the best people available to what he's got right now. And then even with the kid that didn't want to come to Philly, doing something and bringing in, a real super talented defenseman. I mean, that's what the team needs. It was good. Danny did a nice job with that, and the team seems to be coming along. It's just day after day, it seems like they're getting better and believing in themselves. And I think the caring for each other is starting to show through, and they're doing well.
Fedoruk, when we had him by here the other day, made an interesting observation about Danny Briere and Jonesy, being in the head office. And he had said at the games, he's like, these guys are around. They're accessible to the fans. So you talk about what's great for the team, having this kind of leadership, being accessible to the fans. Don't you see that as a plus? The team seeing that happening too. You know what I mean?
I think everyone's accessible when something's going well. When things aren't going well, people tend to hide in their offices.
That's a good point.
Let's not kid ourselves with how it works everywhere else. So, no, but I think that's important. I think, getting away there's always this chit chat about how corporate certain things are. And maybe that has helped to get to turn that thought process for some of the fans that have always supported the team around and made it more of a personal scenario where they're truly pulling for people, not just an organization, not just a friend, not just a big company.
Well, you know what happens over the lifespan of any sports franchise or any sport, you'll hear that refrain, "Are we going to return to basics, getting back to basics?" And seldom do they get back to basics. I think we're looking here at an object lesson of them actually getting back to basics and embracing the things that kind of taking it to the fans and saying, "What do you want? What do you want to see?" And again, as has been alluded to here, the team is exceeding expectations. So it's funny because it's the vibe perpetuates itself. The more as Preston has always said, the more the players appear to be having fun, the more everyone has fun.
Well, I'm sure your ratings go up when you guys are looking forward to coming to in the morning, right?
Right. All we have to do is say Eric Lindros on the show.
Whatever about that. But I'm just, in general, anybody that goes into work and they're having fun and they're enjoying themselves and they're enjoying the people that they're around, they're going to do a better job, right?
Yeah.
They start. That's just the way life works. So, you can see it.
Hey, are you after the alumni game? You're sticking around for the Hall of Fame game and Recce?
Yeah, the next day.
Okay.
The next day, yeah.
And what's that event like when you see somebody being,
you're happy for them. You're happy for them. I played with Mark for about a year. We had that lockout, so it was kind of like about a year. If you added it all together, I was hurt for the last 20 games. I was hurt again in this is my second year. I don't know. I probably played 80, 90 games with Mark at the start there, and then he got traded back to Philly. I'm trying to remember the date, but it seemed around 99 or 2000, in around there. So I played a little bit with him then. He's, Mark's a good player, real good player, and year in, year out, reliable. He's one of those guys that you're just you're looking at depth. He's just one of those guys that you can always place, no matter what his age was. He always kept his hands. He was again super reliable. He was just a real steady player.
And a lifer too. I mean, he's been coaching, and he's been he's done alumni stuff, and he's been played for a really long time. And you think about guys like him and Rick Tocchet and Joe Watson, who have stuck around with the organization forever. And I consider them hockey lifers. I want to know: is Eric Lindros a hockey lifer? Are you like? Is this what's going on with you for the next decade?
I don't know. We'll see what comes. We'll see what comes this way. Am I interested in hockey ops? I certainly was last year.
Yeah. Are you interested in the world of competitive cheering?
What was the term? Hey, bitches, free what? Didn't really pop up this morning, but you never know.
I would love to see some co-ed.
Yes. For those who aren't watching our YouTube stream, Eric's doing some cheer moves.
See some college girl trying to hoist Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
I got action all right. Hear the grinding. Hear the grind. Hear the grind.
I wonder, you were blessed with size and ability, and I'm sure that you've met people along the way that were blessed with those God-given gifts, but just hated the sport. And you're like, man, I hate hockey, and it sucks that I'm so damn good at it. I'm sure that you've run into and played with people like that.
There are a lot. You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, there's a bunch that they're so good, but I don't know if they truly love it, and it ends up showing. But I think it's the best game in the world. I mean, it's just fantastic. I can't wait to get out there. We're on the ice in 50 minutes, and
nice.
I can't. It's just a group of guys, right?
Yeah.
That go out and have some fun. You got some guys that are in. They work in finance. You got some other guys that are, teachers, developers, whatever. There's a mixed group of, and former pros and whatnot. But just in the dressing room, hearing different perspectives, My favorite topic right now is the bike lanes in Toronto, where our former mayor, like, we get a lot of snow, and they decided that we're going to have bike lanes on a lot of our major arteries up and down the city. So traffic is at a standstill while we look at these bike lanes that no one's on. Like, we're not Holland, okay?
Holland.
So anyway, it's a lot of fun to be in that room, and hockey's just incredible. So it's it's just a great game. So we're having a good time.
Well, listen, Eric, we're going to play kind of a game right now, and just to reiterate this for people who may not remember the origin of Casey's moment with Eric. This was several years ago. Eric came on for the first time. Actually, Casey had a chance to speak to you, and he was just a massive, massive fan of yours. And we had a kind of an awkward, embarrassing moment where Casey was professing his love for Eric Lindros.
He was fanboy.
And a listener took the audio and then edited it together and put it to this nice, lovely music. And it's this goofy thing we've been playing for years. So we're going to use this morning. You know what's going on, Eric. So we've gotten phone numbers of people. By the way, we had thousands of people enter this. So they really want to go to the game both tomorrow and on Saturday, and a chance to say hi to meet you in person, Eric. And we've got some other things that are going to come along with this little VIP package. Mm-hmm. So what we are going to do is we're going to call a number that was randomly picked from the thousands that were sent in. The person who answers the phone has to say this.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
All right. That's the first thing that has to be out of their mouth. I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone, and then they win. If not, we move on to another number.
Yep. Yes.
So should we try this?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Casey's going to dial up the number. I will have this on. That has to be, hang on a second. We got it tech-wise. What you doing?
I have no clue.
All right, hang on.
So that channel's on, right?
The channel is on. Okay. Yep. There you go. Okay.
All right.
So Casey's going to call this number, Eric, and we'll see if they answer the phone.
Are you nervous, Eric?
Well, I'm just sitting here going, when you fling shit at the wall, you just never know what sticks, right?
Fling stuff. All right, here we go. What just happened? Okay.
All right.
Casey's dialing it. You can't hear the little tones as he's dialing it, but he is punching in the number. All right, this should dial. We hope this will work. This is us, remember.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I might have to dial 1 to get out.
All right. God damn, you think you could do it directly to the board?
Oh, my goodness. So
You should be able to do it right.
hang on. You might have to dial 1 first?
Yeah.
Okay. Marissa's nodding. Marissa would know these things. All right. So numbers being punched in. Let's see. He's done. We should hear a ring. And everybody be quiet once you hear that first ring.
I want to die.
Any day now. Oh, wait.
Okay.
You kidding me? Come on.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
All right. Who is this? What's your name?
My name is Brian.
Brian. Where are you from, Bri?
I'm from Marlton, New Jersey.
Brian, say hi to Eric Lindros.
Eric Lindros. Hey, how you been?
How you doing, Brian?
All right, that means you are a winner, Brian. You get the full VIP package. We're going to set you up with tickets to the alumni game, to the Hall of Fame game, and a chance to say hi to Eric as well.
And I assume you're going to be bringing either your girlfriend or wife. Her name is?
I think I have to bring my wife. Yeah, she signed me up for this. Her name's Brooke.
Okay. All right.
Well, then when that happens, just do something nice for your girlfriend so she doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, you don't want to leave her out.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Brian, how many have you been getting to a lot of games these days?
Yeah, I always get to a few games a season. I was there. I always make it to the home opener and then a couple other games.
Nice.
What do you think is the big difference this year with the way guys are playing?
It's just been really exciting for sure. I like what Torch has been pulling out of the young guys.
Very good, very good.
Excellent.
Well, I look forward to seeing you. It'll be a lot more exciting on Saturday than it will be Friday night. So,
And when you see Eric, say, "Hey, bitches."
It's a big warning sign before you get to the rink on Friday.
All right, Brian.
Saturday is better than Friday.
Congratulations, man. Hang on. We'll get your information. We'll set you up. That was awesome.
That was so cool.
Oh, my God. Thank God.
I love it.
First guy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Nice, man. All right, well, listen, Eric, you said you got to get on the ice, so we're going to let you get yourself ready. I know it takes like a half hour to get all that crap on that you guys wear, so we'll let you get to business. But, man, it's always great to catch up with you. Thanks for staying connected to this city the way that you have, because you mean a lot to a lot of people, and we're looking forward to, this weekend and the game and all that stuff. So we appreciate it, my man.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's always fun.
Anytime. Eric Lindros, everyone. Right there.
I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
Doing more cheer moves.
He was doing cheer moves on
Hey, bitches. Hey, what?
Steve, you're right. Brian has to say that when he meets Eric on Saturday.
Hey, bitches.
Well, it was a little bit, I was nervous because a man answered the phone, but the name I had was a woman's name.
Oh, wow.
So these people it was him and his wife. I was like, okay, I hope I dialed the right
he did it
number.
right.
He did it
right. I was thinking, Preston, about going on the history of the show, and when the big buzz was on Eric Lindros, and we couldn't get anybody on the show. We were just this pissant little setup.
Yep.
And he came on.
Yeah. Matt Cord was friends with him, and Matt helped set that up, of course. But I'll never forget one night, Steve, you, me, Marilyn, Casey, I don't know if you were there or not, but we were at Finnegan's Wake.
No, I wasn't there.
And we were doing an appearance there, and Eric showed up.
Yeah.
And you would have thought Moses parted the waters because, the excitement that went through that club. He was just the biggest thing there was in Philadelphia. And I just remember how exciting it was. And I came over and I'll be, oh man, how you doing? Nice to meet you, blah, 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 this and that. And he was just a mega, mega star.
Do you remember he turned his hockey stick into a serpent?
I don't remember.
Do you remember that?
A cheap magician's trick.
There was a stretch. There was a stretch in the mid '90s where he was the biggest celebrity in Philadelphia, and you would look to our local sports stars and also TV anchors, and they were our celebs. And I remember when Eric left Philly, and the end of his career here as a player was weird, and
it was
dramatic, and all this melodrama. And then he ended up going and playing for the Rangers. And one of the things that he really liked about playing in New York was that he was no longer the biggest celebrity in town anymore.
Oh, yeah.
He could walk around Central Park with his dog and just sort of blend in with the rest of New Yorkers.
He could walk around with a shirt that says, I am Eric Lindros, and nobody would even
fewer people cared there.
By the way, there's a text came that says, I can't believe Eric Lindros didn't call my phone. Sorry, we could only pick one winner out of all this. Hang on, Marissa's got a comment.
There was some cool stuff on the back end of this contest. Thank you to everybody who entered. I was seeing social media posts where girls were saying, I've literally been dreaming about this moment for 25 years, right? They've been writing down on their notebook. We even got pictures from a girl who said she went to the Flyers Wives Carnival, wrote a birthday card to Eric, and slipped him her number 25 years ago.
Wow.
So for the moment that everybody thought that Eric might actually be calling their phone. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
No, we always appreciate your participation, but you're right, Preston, about again, that thing that you keep going to, which is this city loves the reciprocal feeling that you care about having a connection here. And so for you thanking him for staying invested in this area, it does mean a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that was cool. That was fun. Listen, we got more to go. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in a second. Bizarre File Stories on the way. And our buddy, celebrity chef Nick Elmi is going to be stopping by because we're going to have ice cream with olive oil and sea salt. We're going to try it. That's in honor of my birthday, right?
Yes.
I did that for my birthday. Yeah. Well, all right, we'll come back in a moment. Stay with us.
So when you...
93.3 WMMR.
All right, let's do some Bizarre File Stories.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, just going to dive right into this. I have a few things to pass along to you. We'll start with this one. An American Airlines flight was reportedly delayed after a disgruntled passenger loudly passed gas and was removed from the plane because of it.
Wow.
In a viral Reddit post, a user detailed the recent American Airlines flight from Phoenix to Austin. They said, this past Sunday, I was on a direct American flight from Phoenix to Austin, and I was seated near the row where this situation had occurred. I'm simply sharing this because it's somewhat entertaining, and no, I did not film anything. They explained that they were boarding their flight when they noticed a man who was audibly disgruntled or maybe hungover.
Oh, man.
And was grumbling about something under his breath. After several minutes passed and the majority of passengers aboarded the plane, the original poster heard the man loudly say, You thought that was rude? Well, how about this smell? And then he ripped one.
Oh, man. Well, points for being able to do it on command.
He said, the poster said, I don't know what provoked that comment. And while kind of funny to overhear, it was uncalled for, especially coming from a grown man on an airplane, nonetheless.
Who cut the cheese?
However, the man's bizarre behavior didn't end there. As fellow passengers began unpacking snacks and eating food, the same man who had just farted decided to loudly announce to the rest of the plane, yeah, everybody, let's just eat the smelliest food possible all at the same time. At that moment, one person in a separate aisle replied to the man, if you don't like it, you can fly private. Fly private. When the man called the retort so effing rude, another passenger chimed in and said, I think we'd all agree that you're the rude one here.
So, was this Booger?
The spat caused the flight, which was moving toward the runway for takeoff, to stop and return to the gate. Flight crew ultimately stepped in, making the announcement over the loudspeaker. Apologies for the interruption, but we are returning to the gate, and we will give you more information when we have it. A female flight attendant then approached the flatulent man and informed him that he would not be staying on the flight. He told the attendant that he didn't understand why he was being removed from the plane, but she told him that they will discuss that once they disembark the plane. The poster said he gets up, grabs the bag, and quietly exits the plane. He said, we all breathed a sigh of relief when he was removed.
Yes.
I think most people were on the edge about what he may say or do next, and the trip was only delayed by about 30 minutes or so.
Common decorum dictates you shouldn't be blowing out major farts in an airplane cabin.
Agreed. All right, so Mahia, Washington, noticed a flash outside of her home this week in Portland where a dangerous storm had coated the city with ice. And this is a follow-up story, I believe, to one that we had last week. So opening her blind, she saw a red SUV with a downed power line on it and a couple who had been putting their new baby in the car. The woman screamed to her boyfriend to get the baby to safety, and he grabbed the child and began to scramble up the driveway on concrete so slick it was almost impossible to walk. But before he made it halfway, he slid backwards and his foot touched a live wire. According to Mahia, Washington, she said there was a little fire and then smoke. The mother, 6 months pregnant, tried to reach the baby, but she too slipped. She was electrocuted. And so was her 15-year-old brother when he came out to help. Washington, who was only 18, was on the phone with the dispatcher when she saw the baby lying on top of the father move his head. The 9-month-old was alive. Having just seen 3 people shocked to death, she decided she was going to jump in and save the baby.
Incredibly courageous.
She kept a low crouch to avoid sliding into the wire as she approached. As she grabbed the baby, she actually touched the father's body, but she wasn't shocked, she said. She said, I was concerned about the baby, and she recognized the woman as her neighbor's daughter. She said nobody was with the baby. Fire and rescue spokesman praised Washington for her heroism, but confessed they didn't understand how she and the baby weren't also electrocuted. She put herself in harm's way.
She absolutely did. As you reported on the story initially, Preston, one of those people was actually in flames.
Yeah. The baby was examined at a hospital and apparently doing fine. So that's just a tale of heroism for sure. All right. In Utah, a teenager is in hot water. I love this. I don't know why I love this. After allegedly taping fish to ATMs in Provo and documenting the antics on social media.
Taping actual fish.
Actual carcasses of fish
to ATMs.
Right. To ATMs.
Why?
And I mean like big ones too. And he tapes them on there. It looks hilarious.
And there's no like, oh, of course, yeah, fish,
no,
ATM. Okay.
Yeah, so among, and I love what his website says. So among the displays posted online was a video that appeared to show 3 trout taped to a police car. The Provo Police Department said Thursday that there were roughly 13 instances where the 17-year-old taped fish to ATMs and other objects. The displays were shared on an Instagram account titled fish_bandit84. The account has more than 52,000 followers, and it posts back to August 2023. It's unclear if the account creator did all of the fish taping or they also curated content posted elsewhere online. But the bio of the account reads, live, laugh, tape fish on ATMs.
Okay. Yes.
There is a certain simpleness to that I really admire.
Yeah. You have to love it.
In college, just like Arani sang, and I made bologna sandwiches, and we put them. We lived in Ramsgate in Westchester. It was an apartment complex, and you know when you had the doorbell, and there was like a little thing on the doorbell, you could put like your name or whatever.
Right.
Like, there's just like a little label. People had like pretty like flowers in there or whatever. So we took all of ours, and then our friends that lived in Ramsgate, and we took that off, and we put the bologna sandwich in, little bologna sandwiches, so you could see the layers, the bread, the bologna, the cheese, and the mustard. And that was
your thing.
That was everyone's doorbell.
Little cut up.
So the video showing the trout taped to a Provo police car has garnered nearly 30,000 likes. Among the comments was one reading, "Diabolical, new anti-hero roaming the streets." I love this. So live, laugh, taped fish on ATMs. That is hilarious.
By the way, I want to find out what kind of tape they're using to tape something that's that slimy and have holes.
Looks like duct tape.
Yeah. All right. That's all we have time for in the Bizarre File, but definitely some good stories to pass along there. I got more coming up a little bit later on. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment. A little later on, our buddy Nick Elmi is stopping by. Yes, we are going to sample ice cream that has olive oil and sea salt on it.
It's good enough for Dua Lipa. It's good enough for us.
We got to try it. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
And it was WMMR.
Real quick, I want to read an email and a shout out. This is from Bob Skiuba. I think you say Ciubba. Skiuba.
I like yours.
Skiuba.
Skill.
Anyhow, he says, good morning to you all, and says, happy birthday, Preston. My daughter, Michaela, wanted to make sure that I wrote to you to say, have a great day. She knows it's your birthday because she shares the date with you. She's 13 this year and is very excited to be a teenager. I took her to a Flyers game a few weekends ago, and she is hooked. So I made arrangements to take her this Saturday to watch them take on the Bruins. And she told me that hockey is her new favorite sport to watch. She is
awesome.
An awesome kid and always pushes herself to get straight A's in school. Please wish Michaela and Preston a very happy birthday. So a shout out to Michaela. Happy birthday to you, kiddo.
You have a special you have special plans for this evening?
Yeah, going to see Brett Goldstein.
That is very cool.
Yeah, Roy Kent himself is performing at the Met. So us, Shell and I and some friends are going to go tonight. Should be cool.
I was trying hard to have Brett Goldstein come in here wearing your robe. Unfortunately, it was not.
No, he's
not happening.
Highly in demand.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Preston.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No, but the show should be cool tonight. I'm going to be tired tomorrow for sure, guys.
Right.
So just a heads up on that.
That's all right.
So Nick shared this story with me, and I thought this might be cool to share with the audience this morning.
Yeah, so I graduated from high school. I went to Conestoga High School in Berwyn in 1993. Casey and I graduated high school the same year. And in many ways, you move on from high school. In some ways, you never, ever leave high school. And
it works its way into your DNA.
High school drama does work, yeah. And so it sort of becomes a part of your life for your entire life. And I am still great friends with a lot of friends that I was close with in high school. I'm lucky to have all of them still be in my life. And sometimes people leave your life and you never see them again. Sometimes they work their way back into your life. And there's a guy named Alex who has worked his way back into my life. And I want to preface this by saying that there's no ill will. So I got a text from Alex on Tuesday, and it says this. My sister told me this story. I heard some Philly radio DJ say that Alex used to bully me every day, etc. Did I bully you? I'm sorry. I have matured a lot, I swear. And so I replied to him and told him that, yes, he actually had. And he was kind of a jerk to me in high school. About 15 or 20 years ago, we were talking about bullies on our show. And one of the cool things for me, and I think for Casey and Kathy growing up here and Marissa as well, is that sometimes people from your past work their way back into your lives because of the show. They listen, and so you reconnect with them. And I had reconnected with Alex over the last 10 years or so. But prior to that, I said his full name on air, and I threw him under the bus, and I regret doing that. I shouldn't have said his full name, but I called him out for being kind of a jerk in high school, being a bit of a bully. So I told that story a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Last year, my high school had its 30th reunion. And as a joke, I said, I hope Alex doesn't show up because he was a dick in high school. And I meant that in jest because I know that Alex now listens to the show. So we went back and forth a little bit. And essentially, Alex reached out to make amends, which I found really big of him and really kind. And this was something that, for the most part, I had completely forgotten about. I put it in my past, and he and I have had a very nice relationship over the last 10 years or so, and text occasionally, and it's cool that he listens to the show, and he'll say, Steve said something hilarious today or whatever. and it's always been nice. But this lived with him in one way and lived with me in another way. And
Interesting.
I thought that if somebody who may have bullied you in high school does reach out to make amends or does regret their actions, that might be something that has a little bit of universal appeal. So I told Preston about it.
I remember when we talked about that, Nick, and we had the guy who I had considered my bully, this guy, Lynn Hart. We actually had him reach out to him, had him on the show. He doesn't remember doing it.
Right.
He didn't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Which kind of bothers me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so impactful for you and zero impact for them.
None.
Right.
Preston,
Which
you
means
said
that they were going about doing it to other people too, and just being brutal,
unaware.
Yeah.
And you were very candid about how you paid to have him killed.
I figured I'd may as well be open with everything.
And I just thought it was honest.
But
And
I
you
was,
took that way. No, yeah,
I'm like, that person terrified me, and I hate bullies. I hate the idea of bullying with every fiber of my being, and I still see it today. I see adults that are bullies, and it just makes me sick.
So to that point, Preston, because I feel the same way about you, and I get emotional reactions about it, and I think about people who were jerks in high school or college or at any point in your life, right? And sometimes that lives with you for a long time. How do you feel about people like Alex reaching out and apologizing? And that was unsolicited, by the way. I didn't expect that at all.
I think it's wonderful.
I do too.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's not too late.
It's never too late to say you're sorry.
You know what I mean?
I will tell you this. We are all, at least I think we are at our core, fans of redemption, fans of people changing their ways. And we also always in our lives have to consider, have we bullied and been unaware of it? Have we done that?
Yes.
We all have the capacity. There's a commonality to our lives and our experiences. And that's something that you always have to say, well, and then you think back, could I have been better about that? Could I have been, was I terse? Was I whatever?
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's part of nature. You're going to evolve and you're going to see things differently and you're going to have some remorse. And high school, man, that seed is planted and it will live with you forever. Look at how Carrie took care of it. It was, it was horrible.
Oh, I dreamed of having those powers. Destroy this whole goddamn town.
Yeah.
But you're forming who you are really as an adult when you're in high school. When you're 14, 15, 16 years old, and if somebody impacts you in such a negative way, it can live with you for a really long time. And Steve, the worst part is when hurt people, right? When somebody becomes a bully because somebody else bullied them.
Yeah, no, that happens quite a bit. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind opening up the phones to see if there's anybody listening who could tell their story that was that bully that did that, and at some point in their life had a transition and said, I was wrong. And then reached out and apologized too. I wouldn't mind hearing that. 215-263 WMMR, because ladies and gentlemen, on our Xfinity mobile guest line, we have Nick's former tormentor, Alex, who is joining us this morning. Hi, Alex. How you doing, man?
Good. I just want to preface this. I'm sitting here with my lawyer, and we're just making sure that we have all our records straight here. So.
Making sure that you have enough audio to present in court during the proceedings. We get it.
All right. So, Alex, where are you now, Alex? Do you still live in the area?
I do, yeah. I live in Malvern, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about when your sister had reached out with you about reach out to you about this.
Yeah, it was just kind of random. She was like, "Do you know this guy? He's on the Steve and Preston, the Preston and Steve show," and just kind of ran down with it. I think she had heard it from someone, and so she just kind of passed it along to me, and I was like, Nick would never do this. I was so kind to him every day.
All right, so in hindsight, now, once you found this out, do you remember being that way, being rude, mean, intimidating to him?
So, how many people are listening? Am I going to self-incriminate right here?
No, I laid sort of the groundwork, Alex, and the truth of the matter is, again, we have all, whether we've been aware of it at some point in our lives, we can bully people, and it's part of the deal. And so, you're getting massive kudos for this. So, yeah, give us a picture of what you think you were and how you were with Nick and what caused him to perceive you as a bully.
Well, if memory serves me correct, and Nick, please chime in for sure, but if memory serves me correct, I think I sat right behind Nick in homeroom, and therein lies the, typical jerk in high school that just wants to pick on someone and tap his shoulder or, whatever. So yeah, that's probably where it stemmed from. I would think. I think that's pretty accurate. Nick.
Yeah, I mean, Alex was a popular kid in high school. He was an athlete. He was a really good athlete, and in fact had a bit of a professional career post high school in professional athletics. And maybe Alex, in retrospect, some of it was a jealousy of me being the kind of the nerdy, dorky kid that I still am, and you being the cool, popular, handsome kid with a pretty girlfriend. But I think it's one of those things where like you remember when somebody's a jerk, and sometimes it's specific occasions and just kind of like pushing somebody around a little bit, or looking down on somebody else, the condescension kind of thing. And I think when you reached out to me earlier this week to apologize, you said, and by the way, kudos for coming on, for being brave enough to be public about this. You said that you felt like you were a different person back then.
Yeah, 100%. I think, obviously we all know this, right? You mature a little bit as you grow up. But I think the other part is you just gain a little bit more awareness. You
Yes.
kind of are sensitive to people around you that, hey, that dude doesn't look like he's doing all that well today. Maybe I should, say hi. Maybe I should hold the door for this person. Like, there's a lot of examples, but I think you just gain a lot more awareness. I think in the business world, it's called emotional intelligence, from a leadership perspective. And so, yeah, I think in high school, right, you're just trying to fit in. You're trying to be like, on every minute of the day or in every class, so you kind of, you're just simply less aware of your surroundings and what you say and what you do, and certainly how it impacts people, not only that day, but, for the longer term.
The funny thing is, again, it's not as if, you gave Nick the Shawshank, treatment,
Yeah.
but little things, little seeds planted, little things that are quality of life issues. And to hear people talk about this, and maybe someone, is perhaps engaged in this kind of activity or with somebody that they know, think about it. Ultimately, though, I'm going to give you a little bit of defense here. If you were sitting behind Nick in that room.
Oh, no.
Was his head blocking the board?
Is that why?
Yeah, was so frustrating.
Is huge.
I knew you were going.
My memory's a little foggy in that regard. I can't remember. I miss on that one.
All right, I just thought.
So when you decided to go ahead and reach out and kind of find test the waters and see what was going on, what did that feel like? Were you a little embarrassed, or were you concerned, or what was that like going into?
I think a little bit of everything, but I think Nick said it well earlier. We've reconnected a while back. When I learned that Nick was on the show, I think I reached out through email and was like, hey, not sure if you remember me, which what a way to open up an email after, 10, 15 years of not seeing each other and, being a tad of a jerk to a guy. But I was like, hey, congratulations, listen to the show a lot. Congratulations to the show, like all that cool stuff. And we just simply connected. So I think reaching out to Nick, now, so to speak, was a little bit easier. And Nick was, super nice about it. He was like, yeah, you're kind of jerk, but I get it. Like, thanks so much for for reaching out. No, I mean, it was fine. It was very cordial. I think and Nick made it pretty easy as well.
Well, it's funny you say that, Alex, because I today, this week, this year, I felt like it was easy to make this call, to have this conversation. But when I got that email from you 10 or 15 years ago, I was like, oh, this effing guy. and I had a visceral reaction when I saw your name. I was like, I can't believe this guy was reaching out to me, and he was such a jerk in high school. And so, time does heal all wounds. And since then, you and I have had a nice relationship and been friendly to one another, and it's cool that you listen. So we've I think both matured in that respect, and I'm happy to have this conversation with you today. But had you tried to apologize 10 or 15 years ago, it would have been a different story. And so I think it's nice to be able to come full circle and hopefully have some emotional intelligence when it comes to this type of thing.
Let me ask you a quick question, Alex, because we talk about the dynamic and repeating itself over. Were you in school? Did you ever have any experience in school where you were in fact the recipient of some bullying?
I was that the karma is a bee is absolutely in play. More so when I went to college.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a wonderful experience in college, athletics, all that good stuff, whatever. But very similar situation. You just have an older guy that doesn't like how you dress or how you talk or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely had that. Had that, and not a fun experience to say the least.
Well, you have a very clear perception of this. So glad that it's moved into something that's a much more congenial and pleasant for both you and Nick. And I think for people listening, always you want to be gracious in life, and you want to give people the opportunity to change and realize that we're not always at our best, and sometimes we go down paths that we wish we had not have gone down. And so always give the potential for things to reverse. How many stories in my life have I heard where people who are combatants on some issue or whatever end up being the best of friends? It happens constantly. Yeah. So the hope springs eternal in this case. Yeah.
All right, Alex, thank you for sharing that with us. We appreciate it, man. All right?
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, guys. Love your show.
Take care.
Thank
See
you,
you, bud. All right, later on.
Thanks, Alex.
That was definitely
Can we
nice.
give him Hershey Park tickets?
We could probably do it. I don't think we have any, but he can have it. There was another guy in middle school and junior high that used to come after me, but he wasn't a bully like that was threatening to kick my ass or anything like that. But I think I was a sophomore. He was a junior. And he did it more than once, but we used to call it getting booked.
Oh, yes.
Somebody would knock your books out from
my God.
in the middle of a crowded, in between classes, and
yep.
everybody walks all over your stuff. Man, he did it to me a couple of times, and I was just like, you're just mortified because everybody's walking all over your stuff. You're kneeling down in the middle of a crowded hallway. Nobody's going to help you.
It's humiliating.
It's humiliating, and he did that to me a couple of times. And I remember seeing one time, and it might have been in a gym class or something like that. Like I said, he was a junior, and there were and the difference between like sophomores and seniors age wise. Well, I was in middle school at the time, so I would have been in 8th grade, and he would have been in or 7th grade, and he would have been in 8th, and then the ninth graders. I remember seeing him one time. The two bigger guys like giving him a hard time.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
There you go.
really, so he was getting picked on.
Yeah,
and this guy's release was picking on a younger kid.
That's the
It's this trickle
chain of
down.
events that happens. It's like you look at, I mean, not to draw parallels between your childhood experiences and Charles Manson,
right?
But there was a point in Manson's history where things were going okay,
right?
Yeah,
and then of course a steady chain of things occur that basically you're Manson.
While I was happy to see this guy getting a hard time, I also felt sorry for him at the same time, which was really weird because I hated this guy.
Well, you had empathy because you had been on the receiving end of that as well. And it's not to say that you're making excuses for these people, but there is a scene in Sing Street where there's a movie that I love. It's set in the 80s.
I love it as well.
And the bully he's a total a-hole, and but there is a scene where you see him being abused by his father, and you're like, oh, okay,
Brutally.
I get it. We're not saying it's okay.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, but to maybe understand the hows and whys this ends up happening, you know?
And in situations, it wouldn't hurt to break into song now and then.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That
No, but
never
you're right.
hurts.
Yeah.
Hang on, I want to go to some calls. People who maybe were the bully and they had a chance to try and patch things up. I'm going to go to Matt, who is on the phone. Hi, Matt. Morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, bud?
I have you on speakerphone because I got my kids in the car, so it's kind of a perfect thing to be talking about.
Okay.
But I was new to this school, and I was just trying to fit in, and I was hanging around the wrong people, and they were rude, and then I just started making fun of people, and I feel like I think about it now, and I feel disgusted about it, but. I reached out and apologized to the people that I was rude to. And
let me ask you a question before you continue on, Matt. How long ago was this? When did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2007, but this was in 7th and 8th grade. So
okay,
See,
02, 03.
It holds on.
And at what point? How many years later did you reach out?
Probably like 10 years ago when I saw the person on Facebook.
Oh wow.
They moved to a different part of the country, so I didn't have any contact, but.
Well, when you reached out, what did you say in so many words?
I just said I'm sorry. I was a terrible person back then, and I regret it all because it's so stupid. It was pointless.
How was it received, Matt?
It was good. She thanked me, and it was okay. You know, it's not like we're friends really or anything now, but you know.
No.
So, Matt, let me ask you, because I ran into a similar situation, and when you were reaching out, you had to be prepared for a response of, okay, that's fine. I don't forgive you, though. That's great that you're getting this off your chest, but what you did, it affected me in a negative way and actually affected me, you know, for years to come afterwards. And I just want to let you know that I don't forget. You know what I mean? Like, were you prepared for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was.
Okay, because I did this, something similar, Matt, and I had reached out to somebody via Facebook. You know, I was going through, therapy, and I was talking to my therapist, and unfortunately, you know, and I try and impart this knowledge to my children. Like, you know, these things stay with you for a long time, whether you like it or not. And so there was something that had happened that I had done that I just. Man, I think maybe 11 years old max, and here I am as a 45-year-old man going, I can't shake this. Yeah. And so I talked to the therapist about it, and I said I wanted to reach out to this person. And my therapist was like, well, and that's great, and I encourage you to do it. Just be prepared that they're not going to forgive you if that's what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for some sort of absolvance or forgiving.
Well, because then it becomes a sort of a selfish thing.
About
you're looking to clear your mental plate. And the truth of the matter is that that's all you can do. At least the effort matters. Statistically, I would say more often than not, things go right.
Maybe a way to word it is, listen, I'm not doing this for me. You owe me nothing. I owe you an apology. You don't owe me any forgiveness. So this is for you that I want to apologize.
So here's $5,000.
So here's
$5,000.
Right. That's a start.
Yeah, that's a good first payment.
Matt, are you you're sharing this with your kids? This is a message you want them to be aware of, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're a good
great.
dad.
That's
Good for
great.
you, man.
Can I just say hi real quick?
Yeah.
I say hi.
Hi. Hey, listen to your dad. He's doing a good thing. All right, guys?
And, you know, I had red hair, so it was like I shouldn't be the one making...
You were literally... you should have been the object of the...
Yep.
Yes,
I get ripped on all the time still, but, you know, it makes me think about that all the time.
I hear you.
Good for you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, bud.
It's hard to avoid it sometimes, being a bully or thinking bullying thoughts or being a jerk. And you know, obviously it happens to this day, but I think about it, and Casey and I have talked about this a million times, but like, kids on Instagram, adults on Instagram, you know, where comments are written that are just mean, awful things. And
the veneer of anonymity.
Yeah, exactly, Steve. But you may think it's just a silly, funny comment that you're writing out when you're being a jerk. But keep in mind that there's a person on the other end of that who's now reading those words. And a word that's read, a sentence that's read, is different than somebody saying something to you.
I hope my OnlyFans subscribers are listening to what you're saying.
Those people are just mean. But honestly, I like legit. If you're going to text something that's and you're going to be a dick about it, think twice. If you're going to write a comment where you're going to be an a-hole, think twice about it, because somebody on the other end of that might be reading it, and you might be making that person's day worse by you just being quote-unquote funny.
I was just counseling Casey on this the other day, right? We were talking about people who write...
Listen, there's a guy who listens to the show who doesn't like me. No, it's fine. It's
but
fine.
this is what he wants. If you just ignore him, he will go away.
I've tried to get that message through so many times.
Yeah, but he hasn't gone away. And that's
because you keep replying to him.
Okay, whatever. It's fine. The thing about this guy is he's not wrong. And I've told him that. I'm like, you are right. I am a hypocrite. But when you're on the air for, X amount of hours a day for, 26 years, you're bound to say something that completely what's the word?
Contradicts what you said.
What you've said. And
2 years ago.
And listen, I am on a journey, and I have explored my warts over and over and over again. I know I am not a perfect person. I'm letting anybody know, especially that person who's probably listening right now as he's delivering mail. Well, no, because I know what he does for a living. Of
course. Well, let me mention something, because I think that confronting a text bully is different than confronting a bully in life.
Yes.
Because you are told sometimes that if somebody's bullying you in person, just ignore them, it'll go away. There are times where you can't do that, and you need to either confront them verbally or physically, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think it's a winless situation if you're going after someone via text as far as back and forth.
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
there's no nuance.
That's
there's
right.
no inflection. There's no passion.
Yeah.
It's words on a page. It's different. And you have all the time in the world to come up with a retort, and they do too, and you do too, and they do too, and it goes back and back and back and back and back.
That's
and back
why
and forth.
school and the bully dynamic in school is so powerful, because you have no alternative, no option. You've got to be with these people.
So when I was a freshman in high school, I was 4'11". I was a tiny little thing, and one of the starting defensive linemen sat behind me in history class, and he used to hit me in the back of the head, flick my ears, pull my hair, all sorts of stuff. And this was a great moment because I had asked to go to the bathroom. The history teacher was like, go ahead, right? And so I'm getting up and I'm leaving, and the guy behind me is like, can I go to the bathroom too? And I turned around and I said, Mr. Falcomer, please don't let him go to the bathroom. I said, he's gonna beat me up in the bathroom, right? I literally said that. He's like, I'm not gonna. I'm like, yes, you are. I'm like, all you do is you hit me in the back of the head and you flick my ears, and I'm like, this is what you do every single day. And he never gave me a problem after that. And we were actually really good friends after that.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, oh, I didn't realize that I was having a psychological
But I
effect
really
on
had
this
to
kid.
poop.
Hang on, I want to go to some other calls. I have Megan, who was the bully. Hi, Megan, you're on the line. Good morning.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. What's happening, Megan?
So
Oh, wait a
it must be
minute. You're
something
not the
about-
bully. The bully reached out to you. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. It
All
must
right.
be something about Nick's school district, because I went to the same school as Nick, and it wasn't the high school. It was the middle school for me. And there was a awful, awful bully who was like this popular dude, and he was so mean to me. So I was like, I had these big, thick glasses, and I had like crappy vision, and I was, out for surgeries all the time. And he would make so much fun of me in front of everybody. Like hey, Four Eyes, can you see this? And he would come to my locker and do it. He was a total jerk. And I graduated in 96, and so I'm 44 now. And he Facebook messaged me 10 years ago and reached out and was like, I just want to tell you how sorry I am. I have a daughter now. I can't imagine, if anybody did what I did to you to her and all this stuff. And he sent this long, long message apologizing for being the biggest jerk on the planet.
And how did you receive it? Did you accept it? Was it good? Did you communicate? Was that enough? How did it play out?
Yeah, I kind of accepted it, but I didn't just say, great, I forgive you, that's it. I kind of talked back and forth with him about it a little bit and well, why do you think you did that? And why were you so mean? What was going on with you? And do you realize how that hurt this way, this way, this way? And then how come you were nicer to me in high school once I was a little bit cooler? And, all
No,
that
I think it's absolutely why? Because now if you're opening up that pathway, and people have to be prepared if they're going to reach out, that they're going to be asked some questions, and that's part of the deal. At what point did he reveal to you that he was an optometrist and wanted to know if you were interested in discount frames?
Well, this is the issue now because, all right, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Maybe don't wait until you see how it could affect you in your life, as you're reacting and acting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the sad truth is, Preston, is that Casey. Yeah, you're Casey, right?
I'm Casey. That's Preston right there.
So the sad truth is that you need that. Sometimes you need that step-off point. You don't
that
realize
perspective,
it.
Yeah.
First of all,
and he was a bully to everybody. He was just mean to everybody, but somehow he was also really cool, which was really frustrating.
Well, sometimes
I felt
common.
that he got that attention for being such a jerk.
Yeah, sometimes those two go hand in hand. I don't
right,
want
Kathy.
to. I don't want to say anything further without saying happy birthday, Preston.
Thank you,
Megan. Did we know this person? Did I know him?
I graduated in 96. When did you graduate?
93.
I mean, his older sister.
All right, well, email me later because I'm curious to what if other people that I know or myself had similar experiences.
If you nailed his sister, Megan, he got her back for you. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Text you, Nick.
Thank you, Megan. Appreciate the call. Let me find someone who was actually a bully. Let me go to Sarah here real quick. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hi, Sarah. What's up?
Love you guys. Listen to you every morning.
Thank you very much. All right, it says here that you were a bully at one point.
Yes, I was the bully, and then I was also bullied.
There you go.
And this was more in middle school than high school. I was the kind of loser, outcast, nerdy, four-eyed kid that everybody loved to make a punching bag out of. You name it. They put stuff in my hair. They booked me.
like names, all the whole 9 yards. There was this other girl who was, I'd say, even lower on the social totem pole than me. I mean, she was heavy set. Her family didn't have much money. They harassed her even more than me. And I am ashamed to admit that sometimes I would join in a little bit with them. Not like some of the stuff they would do, not like anything physical, but I would just like, when they called her names and stuff, I would laugh along like, ha ha, yeah, you're such a fat loser.
So, Sarah, that's completely understandable. You're looking to take the heat off you, and it's sort of a defensive mechanism, and you feel terrible about it.
I don't know why I did it because it never worked.
Yeah.
Wow. Sarah, have you ever considered locating that person, reaching out to them?
Oh, I did. I did. Like, even that, like, it wasn't even like a year later, I was like, all of a sudden one day I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm a jerk.
Wow.
So I literally just went right up to her and I'm like, hey, I'm an a-hole. I am really sorry. And I kind of explained like what was going through my head, like why I would do that. And she was just like, I kind of get it. We hit it off. We didn't become like besties, but we were friends. And then after that, when one of us was getting harassed, the other would be like, yo, shut it.
Right. Very cool. Very cool.
Wow.
Love that.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. And the fact that she realized it at an earlier time instead of dragging on for years and then slowly coming to the conclusion, oh, my God, I was a jerk.
There are people, it occurs to me, there are a lot of people who may not have had this experience, if you can today, bully someone and
we're not recommending
tomorrow.
that. No, we're not recommending
well,
that.
I can't apologize.
That release.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an experience like that. Like, I mean, I don't think I ever bullied
someone?
anyone. And there was a girl that picked on me a little bit, but I ignored her, and I had a lot of good friends. So it was like, she tried to get people to rally against me and everyone was kind of like,
Was it the wife of the teacher you were dating?
No, but it went away pretty quickly. So, when I hear stories like this, and I recently saw something on Facebook happening in, the school district in my area with this poor girl. And I mean, it's destroying this little girl's life.
Did you see any of your friends bully other people? Because that can be a weird situation to be in.
No, no, not really.
You impressed me as someone who would stand up for somebody being
Well,
bullied.
My brother Christopher was kind of what he was known for in middle school and high school. If somebody was being picked on, he jumped right in. He stood up for whoever it was, no matter what whether it was a nerd, it was a jock or this or whatever, and people knew he would be there to kind of lend a hand, and I think as a result he had so many different groups of friends because it didn't matter who it was, he wasn't going to let that happen.
That's great.
There was a guy, and this was in middle school too. A lot of stuff happens in middle school, and I found that with my kids too, that middle school was horrible, horrible because social groups are being formed. You're planting who you are. With these other groups of people, and it ends up happening there. So a guy that I went to school with, Brian Jamron, Brian ended up being BMOC. He was a big man on campus. He was a jock. He was good looking. Everybody loved him. And I remember at one of our reunions, I had asked him, I'm like, dude, I never figured out why. When we were, we were in ninth grade, which at that time our middle school went up to ninth grade. Freshmen were still there, so we were the kings.
Yeah.
And he befriended this one kid. His name, we called him Sparky. And he was, you just looked at him and you go, victim.
Right.
You go,
right.
Target.
Yeah.
Target. He's one. Brian would have him sit at his lunch table with the cool people every day, and would hang out with him and include him in the conversation, all this. And I was like, I never understood it. And I asked him at one of our reunions, I'm like, what was that all about? I'm like, I never got that. I never understood that. He's like, I saw these older guys picking on him one day, and I'm like, I'm not going to stand for that.
It's a special person.
So he knew his position in the social ladder, and he invited him over. And I get a little teared up thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Imagine
like,
the impact he made.
And he kept him under his wing, and probably saved him from some horrible memories.
Yes.
So now I'm going to be talking about Wham, from Charles Manson to Wham, but the Wham documentary.
Yeah.
Andrew Ridgeley, right? That's his name, and George Michael were. George Michael's being picked on. They knew each other since elementary school. George Michael was being picked on constantly. Pudgy kid.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Andrew Ridgeley steps in and goes to the teacher and says, "I'll look out for him."
Wow.
And that bond, I mean, for a
Mm-hmm.
kid to do that and then follow through all the way through school and all of that is pretty amazing.
Well, that's why I think I like Josh Homme that much more. There's a documentary about the band Eagles of Death Metal, and the lead singer from that band is his name is Boots Electric, and he and Josh Homme went to high school together. And Boots Electric was being picked on quite a bit, and at one point, I think he was at a party and they threw him in the pool, and Josh.
He was the only one in the pool.
Yep, and Josh Homme just jumped in, and but he also.
He was a big dude.
He was the big dude. He was a big dude. So he stuck up for the guy, but then he also pulls Boots Electric aside and says, you have to stick up for yourself, too. There's a little bit of that as well. I mean,
you can't jump into the pool with electric boots.
No, no.
Everybody knows that's dangerous. Hang on, we have a lot of calls, and I'm not going to get to go to everybody, but Gregory is a school psychologist.
Oh.
And wanted to comment on this. Hi, Gregory. Good morning.
Good morning, Preston, and happy birthday to you, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. What's up,
So
man?
I work in 2 large public high schools in the city, and I see bullying all day, every day. So I'm like on the edge of my seat here. I mean, my heart is racing. Like, you guys are really going in deep today, and Nick, I applaud you for opening this up because I'm sure this isn't easy. My biggest comment is that I'm glad that social media, Nick, in your case, and the other callers, social media can help to remedy this. But in my world, social media fuels this. Like, kids aren't even home. Their kids aren't even safe when they get home because the bullying goes on and on and on and on. And it's because of social media. And then sometimes you have adults getting involved when they think their kid is being bullied. Now you have adults involved in this. So this is a serious problem. And your show usually isn't this deep. I mean, let's face it. So I really am glad that you guys are doing it. This is wonderful.
Do you have any practical words of advice, especially when dealing with social media? Because it is different. And as Steve alluded to earlier, like when you're seeing that person in school and you can confront them or stand up or punch them in the nose, you can't quite do that if somebody writes something mean about you on Instagram. So what is your advice to kids?
Right. No, you can't. You can't. And the problem is you can't shield kids from social media. Everybody has it. Everybody's in it. In high schools, we have staff that hold regular meetings and address this kind of thing. I mean, it's all day, every day. My advice is you have to keep the dialogue open. Kids should be talking to their parents, and then the parents, if they get involved in a positive way, that's the best advice I can get. Because look, when I graduated from high school, it was 1988. When I went home after being bullied, at least I knew I was safe at home. And kids today don't have that refuge because
it's 24/7. I completely agree. I mean, I'm older, so I would hear something. Someone from a neighboring tribe would come into our cave, and they would say, that I was that I ate too much of the brontosaurus or whatever. So, but anyway, but to the point. What do you think, Gregory, of the notion of really being, and a lot of people are being lauded. Kelly Clarkson came out and said she's keeping her kids off social media. I know there's a couple of relatives of mine who are saying there's going to be, maybe 18 and on, but that there's what is to be gleaned doesn't outweigh the amount of vitriol that is out there for kids. Do you think there's a benefit to that perhaps actively keeping them off or really overseeing social media interaction these days? Does that make sense to you?
I mean, heck, it makes sense to me. If a parent is successful in pulling that off, that's great. I mean, I'm almost 54 years old. I don't have any social media accounts anywhere at all. I don't use it. I think it's bad for childhood development. That's my personal opinion. I mean no harm to anybody else everybody else in the world who uses social media. That's cool. And like I said, in this case, it's been very valuable for Nick and Alex and Matt and the other callers to kind of go back in time and fix these situations. But yes, Steve, my belief is that it's detrimental to childhood social development.
Okay.
If you're an adult and you can handle all the pressures that come with social media, go ahead and do it. But to be honest, I don't think I would be very facile with it. So I just don't use it. And plus, the nature of my work is it's confidential, so I don't want somebody going on and saying, oh, I met with Mr. Maddox today and we talked about, like, no.
It is hard. It is hard to keep the kids off because if you think about it,
Yes.
all of their friends are doing it.
Sure.
Everyone they know has it. And then to tell your kid you're the only one that can't.
If all your friends jumped off a bridge.
Well, listen, no, but you might be considered an outcast for that alone.
Right.
And there you go. There's a label on you. So, all right, Gregory,
Right.
thanks for your call, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. We'll see you. There's a call I want to go to. She's been on hold for like a half hour. I'm going to go to Eileen. Hi there, Eileen.
Hi there. How are you?
Good, Eileen. What's your story?
I was a mean little girl. I was about 12 years old, and I hung around with my nephew and his buddies. And we had this one kid, and he was fat. And I would say to my nephew, can we ditch the fat kid? He's holding us down.
Right.
Years go by. I'm at my engagement party, and my nephew and my fiance are talking over the side, and my nephew yells across the crowd, "Hey, want to ditch the fat kid?" My face went like solemn, and I went over and like, "Why are you bringing this up now?" And he goes, "Well, you're marrying the fat kid."
You had no idea the guy you were marrying is the guy you were bullying?
No, totally. Well, I was a bully.
Yeah.
I was a tom girl, and anybody got in my way, I bullied them away, and then he was the fat kid that used to hold us down. And
he never
married me.
did he know that you were? Did he ever betray that to you that he knew?
He knew who I was. No, not until that moment.
Wow.
And he changed. I mean, when we were kids, gosh, he had to be at least 150 pounds, if not more.
Yeah, right.
And when I married him, he was still that 150 good-looking guy.
But he grew into 6 feet tall. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
Steve, is the lesson here if you bully the fat kid, you can fall in love?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so.
Listen, merit to being a chubby chaser.
Wow.
No, but yours is a very amazing lesson in, please, think about all of this in the future and the people that are behind these insults that you're hurling out and this acrimony. And again, hear the pain of people who had to go with their, hat in hand and ask for apologies because this stuff has haunted them all these years.
I'm going to go to Robert here. He's got a different side of things. Hi, Robert. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, happy birthday, bud. How are you?
Thank you, my man. I'm doing well. All right, so what's your story with bullies?
Well, growing up, I was always a big kid, and I saw bullies around, and I was kind of a fighter, a scrapper, and I hated bullies like you. So when I saw someone picking on somebody, I'm like, look, I know you could beat him, but I tell you what, you hit him, I'm going to hit you.
Yeah.
and that would usually work.
Yeah.
That would deter them to say, hey, wait a minute, what do you think about this? Because I know Bob. And you know what the funny thing is, Preston? A lot of people never saw me fight. They just feared me. For what reason? I don't know to this day. But I hated bullies. And I remember one incident I could remember like it was yesterday. This guy was like 6'3". I was about 5'11" at the time. And it was ninth grade. And we're in a gym, and everybody used to pick on this guy, push him around, and he wouldn't do anything. He's like a robot just standing there. Yeah. I'm like, they throw balls out of you when you play, dodgeball. Dodgeball. They're nailing this kid when he's not looking or tying his shoes together. I walked up and I said, "Dude, you got to step up, man. I mean, look at you. You're a giant. All you got to do is shove this guy back."
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. I go up and I say, "You hit him, I'm going to hit you." Well, this thing turned around, and this guy, I guess, finally got his nerve up. And after that, nobody picked on him.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Sad that you it has to come to that point, but yeah, that's sage advice, and good for you for being the person who, like Kathy's brother, stood up, and defended these people. You know what? If that was something that really gleaned a lot of respect in school, and if that was something that, because all the focus seems to be a lot about school, obviously, where that became the thing to do to come to some kids' attention or defense, that's noble, that's chivalrous, that's an old school way of approaching.
It is. I want to encourage that. I want people listening right now. If you're one of the physically larger people in school, in high school, in middle school, whatever, why not flip your thinking as opposed to being the person that gets attention by going and victimizing people? Why not be the defender and use what you've got to help somebody else out. Now, that doesn't mean getting in fistfights or anything like that, but your presence alone, backing somebody up who is clearly being victimized, it could be a life-changing event for somebody.
Absolutely. And if you want to, charge them for your service.
Okay, maybe.
My mom texted me, which I didn't even know she listened to our show anymore. She corrected me.
Hi, Jerry.
She corrected me. She said it was actually Jimmy. She said there was a specific incident, at least that Jimmy took care of. That there was somebody on his bus. It was a handicapped girl. I don't know if she was in a wheelchair or what, but there was somebody that picked on her. A guy that was a kid that was picking on her, and my mom said he took care of her. She said he bashed him right into the locker.
Wow.
And was like, "Don't ever pick on her again."
Okay. Good. Well, tell Christopher he's still my favorite.
Okay.
Even though, let me ask you, was it in fact Christopher who was making fun of the handicap girl?
I wanted you to read this,
all right,
if you don't mind, Preston.
Yeah, it says as a text came, it says middle schoolers are the worst offenders when it comes to bullying. Happened with both of my daughter and currently my son. It's so much worse now. The kids can't get away from the bullies. It happens in school, on the bus, over text, social media. It was so bad for my son. He had to go to intensive outpatient therapy twice within a year and was suicidal in middle school.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said it's awful.
So that might be the impact of bullying somebody, and just keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, listen. Oh, and we should play a little bit of this for your friend Alex. This is Bully from Shine. Faded memory of a bully. I apologize to those who have been on hold for a long time.
Way to bully the listeners, Preston.
We couldn't get to everybody, but thanks for sharing that story, Nick, and thank you to Alex for calling in. And,
thanks, Alex.
And it's not too late. You can you can reach out to somebody who you may have affected negatively and at least apologize. And like I said, you don't have to do it for you. Do it for them.
Yes.
And make sure that they're aware that you're doing it for them, because you may heal somebody in a way you never considered. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. And what are we doing next?
Ice cream.
Oh, ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Nick Elmi is gonna. We're gonna have ice cream with olive oil and sea salt.
Right. It's not the cast of Popeye.
The Dua Lipa way. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Back on 93.3 WMMR.
Good morning, Preston. You can kiss my ass.
Thank you, Stuart Copeland. There it is. Quick moment here. My phone. I keep glancing at it throughout the course of the morning, and I have zero messages. Like
on your birthday of all
none
things.
of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, maybe people just wait until later on.
Guess no one loves me.
I had it on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, I know. Because I sent you a text last night. I'm like, wow.
I had it on Do Not Disturb. What an idiot. So thank you for all the messages. All right, so we're doing something. Oh, it's a cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Did she drop
the
it?
cake? Dude, she dropped the cake?
Because she was holding.
Because she's taking a video for social media.
Oh my!
See where that gets you?
The best
5 second rule. 5 second rule.
The best part is,
Oh my God!
It's upside down. It landed upside down.
as if you couldn't make it any worse, she somehow made it worse, but better.
Yeah.
There's a story behind this, Preston.
It's an upside down cake.
Thank God we made a video, because I was the one who decorated your cake last night, and I realized as I was decorating it that I'm not good at decorating cakes.
Can I see it?
And she ruined it, and it made it better.
You covered over the act.
Oh my God! It was face down.
Face down. It landed face down on the carpeted floor.
Well, there is another cake.
There is another cake.
Well, Acme was supposed to bring one, right?
They did. And Casey, when you said that, I thought that's what you were talking about. And I was like, that cake looks great.
Can Marissa drop that one too?
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't know that this cake was being delivered by Acme, so I was at Acme and I bought a cake last night. And it was later on in the night, so they weren't able to decorate it for me. So I went and bought icing.
And you tried it yourself.
And I tried it myself.
This happenstance covered over your what you feel was inferior decorating. I thought it looked rather nice, Case.
The poetic part of this is Marissa knows when she comes in here filming stuff for social media, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. And she's got one hand with her phone holding the video, the other one with the cake, and it just slides right off.
I love it.
So I'd like to officially Thank you for my birthday cake.
There we go.
I just threw it in the trash.
Now look at that Acme cake, though.
Yeah.
That is a mofo.
That's fantastic. Oh, it's beautiful. It's got like fall type colors. And I know because I was actually asked if I wanted a cake. It's carrot cake.
Damn it.
Love carrot cake.
All right, so I took a picture of what it looked like when I decorated your cake.
This is what Casey's cake decoration looked like.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, Case.
It's not bad at all.
It's not
Yes,
bad.
it is. Thank you guys for being nice.
Listen,
no, it's horrible.
if
but
for a
it's
novice,
great.
it's not your profession. You did fine. I've tried to do the same thing, Case. You did pretty well.
Yeah.
So what you have to do, and I'll tell you, there's some secrets to decorating cakes when you're using the
Go to Acme.
the piping.
Well, first of all, I bought the wrong icing, so then I had to make my own piping with a plastic bag.
So what you need to do is when you come to the end of a letter, you push down slightly. And,
That's why you get the little-
if you lift up, then that's why why your letters look like they were written by a kindergartner.
Well, that's why the Y in happy looks like a number 4.
Okay.
Hap 4.
Yeah, you have to. We took a cookie decorating class over the holidays, and I learned that there. So yeah, you can kind of like push down a little
Hap
bit.
4 birthday.
Hap 4
Where did
birthday.
you do cookie decorating, and why did you not tell me?
It was over near Quakertown, I think is where it was. I'll get the name of the place.
You know
I thought
what?
they do okay.
You know,
because you know why? Because it had cooking involved with it. So I didn't think you'd be interested.
Your work wife is upset.
You know.
DIY.
Our boss is here. Chuck D'Amico.
Wait. It has
Wait,
triumph.
We have music for him.
Yeah, baby.
This is Chuck's theme. Bill Weston had his theme. This is Chuck's theme. What's up, man?
I just want to listen to the song. I was right behind Marissa. I watched that whole thing go down, and I had like a traumatic PD moment. I'm like, I can't let cake become my soup. I saw it all over the floor. I'm like, it's all over the carpet.
Chuck, you should see the number of texts that are coming in saying, "Thank God Bill retired."
Yeah.
Because he's having a coronary at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bill does hate soup. I love cake way too much, so
Yeah, so
it can't happen. But I'm like, man, it's all over the carpet.
Yeah, no, that's a concern. You begin to understand Bill's pain.
It really wasn't on the carpet as much as it was on this little stand.
On your stand, I saw that case.
Yeah, all right. And I'm sure we'll get a great video out of that from Marissa
sure,
because
yeah.
she's got a first-hand view with that camera. It was on the cake when she dropped it.
And I wanted to do I showed Casey this video this morning. I wanted to do, you use a cup to cut the cake instead of a knife. And
Can you
cutting
do it on
slices.
this? Can you do it on the Acme cake?
Oh, is the Acme cake in here?
It's right there.
Oh, sorry, I can't see it.
You're such a
Oh,
shorty.
we can totally do it with that. It's probably even better.
I want to do it now. Do you mind, Preston?
No.
So you just you basically just stick the cup in the cake, like along the edge, and
Show
you
us.
just
It'll give you a nice rounded piece.
Steve, look at the video, and it gives you and it fills your cup.
And you eat it out of the cup.
Yes.
That's a great idea. So smart. By the way, Rochelle laughs at me and Caroline because we are diehard spoon users when it comes to eating cake.
Oh, okay.
Always. You too, Steve?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I will
Excellent.
tell you this though. May I ask you?
Yeah.
You have to cut. You have to do the first
Sure.
cut.
Do you want to do
that?
Because it's your wish.
The first cup.
I'll come around there.
Preston cups the cake.
The
Preston cups the cake. Hi-ho, there we go. Preston cups the cake.
All right, I'll start in the corner here.
Okay.
Preston starts in the corner.
Yep.
Preston starts in the corner. Hi-ho, there we go. Preston starts in the corner.
It's
The
working
cake is getting
perfectly.
screwed up. It's not working at all.
This didn't work.
Who came up with this dumb idea? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
Hold on, wait. I want to try. I want to try.
I need a spoon.
Get the man a spoon.
Get the man a spoon.
Get the man a spoon. I got a spoon in my Wawa bag. Here is a spoon.
I'm going to try it slightly different way.
There's cake on the floor now.
There you go, Preston.
All right, Kathy's trying.
Kathy is trying. Kathy is trying. Use a spoon to take the cake.
Wow. I think what the issue is, if I may, they appear to be using glass.
I know, and these are
And
plastic.
these are collapsible plastic.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think we need I think like a wine glass would work
We
perfect.
need a wine glass. We need a wine glass.
There's probably one on Kathy's desk. Go get us a wine glass.
It's right above her flask. It's right up. All right, here we go.
I love carrot cake. Thank you, Acme, for this wonderful cake this morning.
You know, I'm standing there with my daughter last night, and we ended up going to buttercream. She's like, what about the carrot cake? I go, yeah, I like carrot cake. I'm not going to get that for Preston because it's what I like.
You ended up going to buttercream. What do you
How
mean?
did I do?
Oh, the cake you brought in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thought I knew you better than that.
No, it was good. I mean, it's kind of a mush
It's kind of.
thing right now. I need a napkin of some type.
Oh, I got you, Boo.
There you go. Thank you, Boo.
Wasn't clean.
He got you, Boo.
Thank you, Nick. Sorry.
Acme has top-level cakes.
Yeah, they do.
Those are Wawa napkins.
What? Oh,
Wawa napkins for your Acme cake.
You're right. And we need any other
And we run on
sponsors?
Dunkin'. Yeah. Yum. Thank you very much, guys.
By the way, mulch works.
In summary, Sun Rocket.
Sun Rocket, everybody.
Can you guys look at Casey?
Can we look at Casey?
He
my God.
He didn't have a cup, so he used his hand.
I use my hands.
Oh, look who's here, the ice cream. The ice cream man just got here. Funny story. Nick Elmi, celebrity chef who's here this morning, didn't know he was supposed to bring ice cream.
Oh, my God.
I messed up twice now today.
Had no idea that
It's all good.
he would be supplying the ingredients this morning. Nick, we'll put
Nick
you on
Elmi.
that mic right there. Nick Elmi,
Hey.
celebrity chef, great friend of the Preston and Steve Show. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
You need to stop losing weight, dude. You're looking skinnier every time we see you. Now, I kid, you look fantastic.
Here, by the way, is to get those compliments.
Get the compliments?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
By the way,
no
you know,
problem.
I think of you, I think of the show The Bear. I think of you as that's you. I tell my wife all the time, that's Nick Elmi. You watch The Bear?
I can't.
Oh, you can?
I cannot.
It would drive
I'm
you
not
crazy.
going to go through 6 days a week of doing service and then go home and watch service. My wife watches it. She's like, you got to watch it.
It's you, man.
I was like,
it is.
why would I do that?
You're a nicer version of that guy, but
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, I understand though, and I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
well, anybody that worked at one point in the service industry, because I was a server at a few different restaurants, and watching him, it does bring back some memories, good and bad. But if you're currently in the service industry or doing your job, it might be like triggering in the immediacy, and then you got to go back to work the next day.
Yeah, you're not going home and watching people produce radio shows.
No. You know, people ask me a lot if I listen to podcasts, and
Casey's like, I do.
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts because it's kind of what we do for a living during the show, you know. So like when I get home, I'd rather just listen to music. By the way, everybody's eating cake, so you're gonna have to carry
I
the show
heard.
for a little bit.
Floor cake.
Yeah, floor cake.
That's nice. Carrot cake, really?
Yeah.
Is that a real decision, or is that?
Yeah, it was a real decision. I mean, you know, standard angel food or devil's food is a little on the boring side. I want to do something kind of unique, you know? Yeah.
Like stuff in it, like nuts and fruit.
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah, absolutely. Are you not a carrot cake fan?
I'm not. I don't like stuff in my stuffing or my cake. Like I'm not like a.
Okay.
Even on like Thanksgiving, if you put like nuts and fruit in my stuffing, it's like, oh,
You don't dig it.
I'm good. Throw it
So
in.
like a cake, like a standard devil's food would be your
I
go-to?
am an Acme sheet cake for my birthday.
Ah.
Like
Really?
chocolate frosting with M&Ms on it. I've been getting that my entire life. My mom started doing it when I was a
love
kid.
that.
My wife does it now. It's amazing. She also makes a really decent like chocolate cake with coffee frosting.
Ooh,
That sounds pretty good.
Do you know it's a hell of a cake that I've had? And people have done the Nutella cakes.
Ooh, I
I'm a
like that.
Nutella fan.
Yeah.
Very, very moist. Has a very devil's food kind of feel to it. Delicious.
Hey, at the landing kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Who makes your pastries down there, the beignets and stuff like that? Because those are fantastic.
We are using a company called Offer Neal. We were doing it by ourselves in the beginning.
Okay.
And then I didn't want to show up at 4:30 in the morning anymore.
Yeah.
But we got we weren't expecting it to be that busy.
No, but the thing is,
Crazy busy.
the landing is sensational. And Lark, yours, the restaurant right up on the roof of the
The place
hotel.
I just went and got ice cream from.
I have another question because I made on Saturday for some reason I just woke up and I was like, you know what, I want to make my own bread today,
Okay.
and so I did. It didn't taste bad, but holy crap, it was dense, and I don't know why it was so dense. I mean, it was like really, really like denser than pound cake.
What kind of bread were you making?
Okay,
well that's your start.
Yeah,
Let's start
so
there.
it was like a white bread.
You need to identify the desired result.
Yeah,
Flour and water, and that's it.
Flour and water, and that's kind of it. But
I was making eggs, but it turned out to be bread.
I initially thought, oh, I'll make a sourdough, and then when I started looking at the recipes, I'm like, oh, I'm not prepared for this. So I think it was just a white
I'll
bread.
send you like a sourdough recipe that is like you do it at night, you wake up in the morning, and you can make really
That quickly?
spectacular.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. You let
Wow.
it ferment overnight. The next day, you mix it, let it proof for a little bit.
Wow.
And you bake it, and you bake it inside of like a Dutch oven.
Oh,
It's crazy.
I'm on board.
That was part of the one of the. I was like, oh, I can't do a Dutch oven. So I mean,
Yeah, you you just fart under the
I could do that kind of job.
Everybody can.
I think maybe part of my issue was that when I was letting everything rise, I didn't do it in the refrigerator. I just did it on the counter. I'm like, maybe
You're
that.
supposed to.
On the counter?
You need it to be at like room temperature above
that's what I thought.
to actually, but it needs to like actually come up.
Okay.
I'll throw it in the oven because you have the pilot lit in the oven, so it's always a little bit warmer in the oven. It's like 90 to 100 degrees in that oven, and it'll rise quicker.
Okay.
And you'll get better air bubbles, and it'll be lighter bread.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we called you in because we wanted to try out this ice cream thing. I just was going to pick stuff up at the store and bring it in, but Marissa, I guess, had the idea to call you. And you've got an event coming up anyway, which we're more than happy to help out with. So we'll make the mentions in just a second here or two. But there was the pop singer Dua Lipa was doing an interview and said that she was talking about ice cream. She doesn't like a lot of stuff in her ice cream, which is I'm that way with ice cream too. As far as you mentioned M&Ms and stuff like that. I don't like that in my ice cream. The only thing I like in ice cream are things like nuts or more. I'm more on the natural
chunks?
side, like nuts or coconut or things like that. I don't like all the gummy worms and when you get crazy with stuff. I don't like that. So I was actually intrigued by hearing that she likes a little bit of olive oil drizzled on the top and some sea salt. I thought that was kind of an interesting sounding combination. And you had never heard of that before, right?
No, I've heard of that before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Marissa said very Italian thing.
Marissa said that you didn't quite understand the concept.
I didn't understand the concept because I guess our communication through text isn't great.
I guess so.
I mean,
You
I showed up
should not
without
text
ice cream. But look at, even that, I brought my own. Yeah, listen.
Wow. So we dropped the cake. We get the ingredients are incorrect, and you're well aware of this.
Yeah, I think it's delicious. And I'm the same way. Like, when it comes to ice cream for me, I like vanilla soft serve with chocolate sprinkles, and that's it.
Okay.
All right.
As long as it's good.
Agreed. Yeah.
Wait, Marissa wants to defend herself.
No, I just want to say, I think what we were saying, you were like, well, why is this a thing?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's already a thing. Why is this a thing now?
Oh,
Dua Lipa.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I think
So
it's
then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think it's a little more. It's not as common as going down your ice cream shop and getting. So most people aren't familiar with it.
Correct. There's a company called Big Gay Ice Cream.
Yeah,
they had a shop,
they're
they had a
awesome.
shop here for a while, but that was one of the things that they did. Like one of the original things that did that kind of made them.
No kidding.
Yeah, that kind of let them take off a little bit.
The blueberry cobbler is amazing from Big
Yeah,
Ice
they
Cream,
would take like savory flavors and turn it. They had also Capogiro. I don't remember those guys. They're from Philly. That they did really great ice cream. They did like goat cheese, rosemary, and honey ice cream. That was probably my favorite thing.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
But they would do really. But Big Gay Ice Cream did spectacular flavors. It was a really, really simple thing.
We actually have in our freezer, I'm sorry to interrupt, Nick, in the kitchen, some pickle ice cream. Who made that? Meredith brought that by.
Oh,
A friend
right.
of hers makes ice cream, and it's actually pretty unique. If you want to try some, Nick, we'll grab it for you.
Yeah, which Nick? That Nick? Or,
Nick Elmi.
We don't have to ask you.
You'll try.
I'm confused. Although I don't like pickles, so I don't think I'll like that ice cream. But I do like olive oil. I was in an Italian restaurant about a month ago, Nick Elmi, and I tried this as a dessert. I'll try pretty much anything as they were saying. It's something to me that tasted good. I enjoyed it, but I don't think that I would order it on a routine basis, right? Like, it just kind of seems like a bit of a novelty. And do you see that happening, like novelty desserts, and then they kind of, they're popular for a month, and then people come back to the M&Ms?
Yeah, Van Leeuwen Ice Cream came out with a mac and cheese ice cream last year.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, let's everybody get one bite of that, and then we'll put that away forever. Like, it was like, okay, this is kind of tasty, but I'm not eating cheese ice cream ever again.
But it's purely, it's a promotional thing, and it puts you on the map for a little bit, and then people come and sample other stuff. And we all do stuff like that. So.
I like, but when it comes to putting oil on top of ice cream, I do like it because it does, like, the oil thickens really quickly.
Yes.
So, like, pistachio ice cream with pistachio oil on top of it is absolutely
it was a caramel
delicious.
ice cream that I was trying, but for me, the pièce de résistance was the ice, the salt. That made the dessert a little more delectable.
And I would imagine that it's got to be just a teeny bit of the oil, right?
It's a quart.
It's a decent amount?
Yeah.
You're going to show us.
Dealer's choice.
All right, let's see. So, Nick, you can go ahead and start to create that, and I'll mention some of the things that are coming up that you are involved in. February 28th and 29th at Lark, there's an event that is going on, and it is called Chef Radio Presents. Oh, man, I'm going to mess this up. Voyage.
Voyage?
Voyage.
Voyage. There's a dot in between there.
I didn't understand that either. But
Voyage.
Voyage.
It's a dinner series with Nick and LA-based chef Jeremy Fox, and this is going to be at Lark, which is in Bala, and tickets are available through resy.com, resy.com. And is this a like a chef's table type of thing or a prefix dinner? Or
Jeremy's going to do like an 8-course dinner. He's like, I've admired him for a really long time. He's really spectacular. Like, I don't want to say he's a vegetarian chef. He's a vegetable forward chef.
Okay.
He kind of grew up in the area during the summers. His grandparents are around here. He actually worked at Sesame Place. My wife worked there, so I want to figure out. My wife was Grover there for a really long time, so like, I want to find out if they ever cross paths. But
you're boning Grover?
That's a band name. Bone and Grover. Bone and Grover.
Wow, that is.
I'm so glad my kids are in school right now.
One of my good friends was Big Bird. When did she work there? Do you remember?
They're way younger.
She was in her teens, so it would have been in the mid 90s.
Okay, my friend was like 96, 98ish.
That's the wheelhouse. Seriously, that's the wheelhouse that she was there. And she stayed in entertainment. Like she was in she was a backup singer and a dancer for a really long time, and was in AC. We met in AC when she was doing like backup dancing and singing for like acts that went to town.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
So I'm looking at Nick put this together. It looks like he put like about a tablespoon of olive oil on top, and now this very thick sea salt. He's just doing a little sprinkle.
You want me to do the
Salt Bay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Is that
off
guy
the
still a
elbow.
thing?
Nice.
I don't think he is a thing anymore, is he?
Who?
Is he? The Salt Bay, the guy that does the salt. We'll have to show you an Instagram video. It was very popular for a few years, 2 years
He didn't
ago.
get canceled yet?
I don't think he got canceled. He's just not as
Like Batali, right?
Vanilla or butter pecan?
Vanilla, please. I'm a vanilla guy.
Wow,
Did you just say pecan?
Butter pecan?
Pecan. Pecan.
I expected more.
I say
of you.
pecan too.
I'll pass
Thank
it to
you.
him.
All right. This is for Steve.
Thank you. Is that which one is that?
For Kathy.
Okay, thank
Sorry, Nick.
Oh, that's really good.
Is it?
Right? Yeah. it's
Oh
really
yeah. I
good.
definitely want to try some.
Hey, I didn't get any cake.
You know what? A little rosemary would be good on that.
Yeah, but like what I like about it is like the fattiness of the olive oil kind of coats your palate.
That's all well and good. Could you make me one, please? Thank you so much.
No, I'm out on this.
You're out,
I knew I was going to be.
You don't really like olive oil?
I like olive oil. It's on ice cream. It's not blending.
I, as they say, am not mad at this. I see this.
I'm not happy at it.
I don't. I would. I'm not like craving it after having this, but I think it's really good. Okay.
Would you order it, Preston?
Hang on a second. I got music to play. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just so you're not hearing us going.
So I agree with you, though, Nick Elmi, as we differentiate about the, for example, ice cream. The core flavors. If they're missing the boat on chocolate, if they're missing the boat on vanilla, that's thumbs down. So you build from those, but I don't like what I agree with Preston, jamming too much stuff into it, because then you're undermining it.
Yeah, I'm a purist, I think. I like simple, very, very simple. I got ice cream on your mic. There you go.
By the way, so this event that is this Voyage dinner, and okay, so you're going to be able to spend time. If someone purchases tickets, what are they going to experience?
So it's a 8-course tasting menu. We're doing it Wednesday and Thursday at the end of February, 28th and 29th.
Right.
8-course menu. Jeremy and I will be there cooking in the kitchen and then come out in the dining room and kind of explaining dishes and stuff like that. But it's not like a communal thing. We're doing like, if you want to sit with 2 people, like it's 2 people.
Okay.
Excuse me, you sit, you get the menu, you enjoy it. It's just, it's nice getting different people to come to Philadelphia and show different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Like they did it at Nuck's restaurant, Kalaya. Marissa, how do I say that again? Kalaya? I forget. And they brought a gentleman from LA and he came and he did that whole dinner there. It's in conjunction with Visit Philly.
Yes.
And they're trying to get just more eyes on Philadelphia, especially in the culinary world.
I was reading an article in the Inquirer today about, obviously there's a lot of James Beard nominees and this is all going on. But also, they're trying to figure out if Philly the area has such a great reputation for food, but sometimes it still gets short shrift behind other cities and they were kind of breaking down everything on paper says we should be well ahead of these other cities, and yet there seems to be some sort of bizarre shell game that's going on.
Yeah, the big conversation lately has been like the Michelin Guide, which is huge in Europe, and then in America, it's in New York and Chicago, LA. Now they're in like Houston, Miami, and DC, and everyone's like, why are they not in Philly?
Right. So the Michelin Guide?
Guide, yeah.
They won't come and check the restaurants here?
There's rumors that they're starting to,
okay,
but they just have never come here.
Because that's the ultimate, right?
That is
like
they talk about the James Beard Awards being like the Emmys of the food world, but if you had a Michelin star, like that's the ultimate goal.
By the way, I'm in the Clean Plate Club.
Oh, and it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Can you try this pickle ice cream real quick?
Yeah, Nick, you want to try a bite of this?
No.
Okay.
No, I will.
It's from. It's called Just Homemade Ice Cream. Yeah, try a little sample of it. It's actually, it's interesting.
This isn't one of these things where I taste it and it's like one of those Harry Potter jelly
No,
beans.
it's not.
And I taste it.
Birdie
It's not
flavored.
pickles.
No, it's
All right,
not
well,
those. It's
So
actually.
you know what? You wake up with a Quidditch ball up your ass.
What's the little thing?
The,
that you-
The snitch.
Yeah, the
I got a
golden-
snitch in my butt.
Golden snitch right up the ass.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, right. It's unique. You can taste the,
All right,
the
can I try
creaminess
it?
through the brine.
No, I don't hate that at all. I like
Yeah.
that.
It's funny. It's funny how it used to be such an alien concept, Nick, for the like the sea salt and caramel or these pairings, but it's something that's been done forever, which is using the sweet and
Savory and
savory.
salty.
Yeah, I like a savory aspect to my desserts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like when chocolate-covered pretzels came out. You were like,
Yes.
that sounds weird.
And then you
you're
do
like,
it.
oh, my God, these
Yeah,
are
now
fantastic.
they're like passe. They're common.
So how are things at Lark? Lark is a fantastic restaurant. Again, I sing its praises. It's one of our go-tos. But it's just, and it's the vibe there is so. How hands-on are you, by the way? Just a quick question. There's an aesthetic, and obviously, it represents you as a chef and your plans. Are you fully invested, or how do you work that? Because I know you want to vibe, but what's your skill set involving that?
My partner Fee and I, like, the original idea was to come in, set up the restaurants, get them staffed, get them trained, and kind of like consult and kind of piece out.
Right.
But we are fully immersed.
Okay.
I'm there almost every day of the week, at least for like an hour or two checking in.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
time I'm there for like a full work day. We're building another place on campus right now. We're building like a event/wedding facility on site. So we have the cafe.
Wow.
We have the restaurant, and now we're building an event space as well.
It's
So we
excellent.
want to host like, we're gonna have like a music venue there and do like all kinds
wow.
of shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, that whole area is a lot of potential. Very
It's
cool.
really cool. I mean, it was an old. It was the old ironworks. They used to build all the steel that built all of the bridges in Philly. They made the steel that built the raised subway system in Chicago.
That's
And
why
just
I
kinda-
love the look, because the
distressed sort of, yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it represents what it was.
Yeah.
and but it's all brand new.
And we still have the frame of the original
Mhm.
factory there, and we just kind of stuck a hotel in the middle of it.
It's great.
When's your
It's
next jiu-jitsu match?
I trained this morning.
Yeah.
I lost the fight 2 weeks ago because I dislocated my shoulder like a minute into the match.
Oh, man.
And then I just kind of had to like curl up and lay there and get the shit kicked out of me for 4
you didn't
minutes.
tap out?
The poopy.
Can't say that.
Say what? Yeah, exactly. So it's been, I think I'm at that point where I recognize that I'm 43 years old and probably shouldn't be fighting dudes on the weekend. Like, I have other
chicks, fight
things.
chicks. Yeah.
I mean, I got 3 restaurants and 2 kids and a wife I should probably be focusing on instead of.
Yeah,
It's good, though. It's a great outlet. It is a great outlet. I train up in Precision in King of Prussia. Bunch of really great people.
Cool, man. Nice. Well, we're happy that the restaurant world is still, everything's going wonderful with you. And this event is February 28th and 29th, and it's called Voyage.
Sounds
And,
great.
Nick will be there with Jeremy Fox, and I think it says $90 wine pairings, suggested cocktail pairings will be available as well. So there's all different kinds of things that you can do, full course meals and all that stuff. I had a cool thing not long ago. I was having dinner with another couple, and the guy I was talking to there had mentioned Lark. We were just talking about restaurants. He's like, man, this place is fantastic. I go, I know that guy. I know that guy.
I get special treatment. When
So
I
you got big fans in us and many people around the area, which is cool. So, thoughts on the ice cream? I
thumbs up.
I think it's good.
It's not something I'm going to go to all the time.
Agreed.
But it is an interesting flavor.
I'd have it.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I had something a while ago, and it's a standard, I guess, at some Italian restaurants. And Nick, maybe you'll know the name of it, but it's a vanilla ice or oh my God, not ice cream, even better than ice cream.
Gelato.
It's a gelato.
Gelato.
Thanks, Dr. Mike. That you pour espresso on.
Affogato.
Oh my God!
Yeah. One of my
It's
favorites.
the greatest.
What is this?
It's called Affogato.
Affogato.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
One of the yummiest desserts I've ever had.
Literally just vanilla gelato with espresso poured on top
It's
of it.
not that because I tried to
Is
make
it
it at
really?
home, dude, and it did not turn out as good as the restaurant where I had
Good
it.
gelato and good espresso.
Yeah,
that
if
helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you have good gelato and a really good espresso, oh my God, it's
A lot
the
of
greatest thing.
stuff is ingredient.
Where did you have this?
It was
Gas
okay.
station.
No, it's a friend. Some friends took us out to dinner. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. It's in. It's off like Gulf Mills, that area.
Savona.
Savona. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they're great, man.
Yeah. That was. It was so good.
Osteria makes a really good one.
Oh, I like
on
Osteria.
North Broad Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have my favorite pasta.
The name again is Affogato.
Affogato.
All right, I'm going to have to look for that because I recently got turned on to quality gelato, and there's a vast difference between that and the stuff you get out of a vending machine.
Yeah. And it's only a $40 difference, probably.
Yeah.
Gelato
and
ain't
it's
cheap.
You
It's
can
the
have
tiniest cup in the world.
a delightful dessert for under $100.
Yeah. Yeah. This is awesome, guys. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming by. We appreciate it, and for sorry for the confusion, but we'll post the information about Nick's event coming up February 28th, 29th. It could be like you could give someone tickets for Valentine's Day and say we're going to go do this. I think that's a great.
That's a
gift
great idea.
That
right
is a
there.
great idea.
So redz.com is where you can get those tickets. We'll be the idea people for you, man. All right, thank you,
I can
Nick.
cook.
Nick Elmi, everybody. Yes, you can. We're going to take a break, and we will be. Why is this not working? There we go. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us.
93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let's begin with a follow-up story. I've got there's been some heavy stories lately that kind of fall into the bizarre file realm, but I'll start with this one. This is a follow-up. A man was convicted of second-degree murder on Tuesday for fatally shooting a young woman when the SUV she was riding in mistakenly drove into his rural driveway in upstate New York. You guys
I remember this story.
Yeah. After deliberating for less than an hour, a jury found Kevin Monahan guilty of shooting 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis on a Saturday night last April after she and her friends pulled into his long, curving driveway near the Vermont border when they were trying to find another house. Monahan was also convicted of reckless endangerment and tampering with physical evidence. The murder conviction carries a maximum sentence of 25 years to life, which prosecutors would be seeking at his sentencing. Gillis was killed days after the shooting of a 16-year-old named Ralph Yarl in Kansas City. Yarl, who was wounded by an 84-year-old man after he went to the wrong door while trying to pick up his younger brothers. On the night of Gillis's death, the group of friends was traveling in a caravan of 2 cars and a motorcycle looking for another person's house party when they mistakenly turned into Monahan's driveway. They began leaving once they realized their mistake, but he came out onto his porch, fired twice from his shotgun, with the second shot hitting Gillis in the neck as she sat in the front passenger seat of an SUV driven by her boyfriend. Yeah, exactly. So he's going to go to jail. They're going to sentence him. Video is circulating on social media and shows a terrifying moment. A large wave crashed through the door of a dining hall on a U.S. military base on a remote island in the Pacific Ocean on Saturday.
This is wild footage.
The wave was powerful enough to knock doors off their hinges, toss furniture around, and sweep several people off their feet on the island of Roy Namur, which is situated in the Marshall Islands.
Yeah, oddly enough, there was somebody presenting a birthday cake to someone, and they were able to keep it on the plate.
It's home to the U.S. Space and Missile Defense Command's Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site, by the way.
I have one of those.
According to, yes, you do, sir. According to
Did you shave any of that carrot cake?
There's plenty of it left if you're into that. So, would you like some jelly beans?
I would
on
like
it?
some jelly beans.
Yeah.
Mom?
According to a diver stationed near the base who recorded the incident, the surge of water was caused by a combination of wind, tides, and swell direction. It was also right after low tide at a 1.2-foot tide, so it could have been way worse, noting in the caption that the wave was not a tsunami. The waves were so big that they damaged the base and 2 airports nearby.
Yeah, it's wild.
80 of the approximate 120 personnel living on the island were evacuated, so that's just nuts, man. A Missouri man thrust into the spotlight after his 3 friends were found dead in his backyard.
Yeah.
2 days after they were last seen by family members is speaking out through his attorney. This is a really weird story.
It keeps going on, too.
The lawyer for Jordan Willis says that his client had absolutely nothing to do with the deaths of Ricky Johnson and David Harrington and Clayton McGeeney, whose bodies were discovered on January 9th at the home that Willis rents in Kansas City. A spokesperson for the police said that there were no obvious signs of foul play observed at or near the crime scene and stressed this is 100% not being investigated as a homicide. There have been no arrests or charges. No one has been taken into custody. The 3 men arrived at Willis's house on Saturday, January 7th, sometime after that night's football game. The game ended at around 9. What happened next remains a mystery to everyone, including Willis, according to his lawyer. He does not know the timing or manner of their deaths, nor does he know how or when they exited the house. He had no knowledge that they remained in his backyard or that they needed medical attention, according to his lawyer. The 3 men were still at the home that night when Willis went to bed. Willis didn't know about the efforts of family or friends to locate the men in the days before their bodies were discovered in his yard. However, 2 people came to his house. However, he did not hear them as he sleeps with earbuds and a loud fan, his lawyer said. One of those people, the wife of one of the deceased, tried to reach him via Facebook Messenger. Unfortunately, he didn't see the message until after the police contacted him. And while the cars of the 2 men were parked outside of the home, they were not parked in the driveway. Willis didn't notice the vehicles, his attorney said. It would not be unusual for his friends to have left the cars there overnight, according to him. So Willis was home when the police arrived and said that his client, he said his client allowed them into the house, told him that all he knew and voluntarily consented for a search of the home. Police were called to the scene after the fiance of Clayton broke into the home on the night of January 9th. She made the decision to break in after seeing the men's cars parked outside. Those friends also said that Willis and most of the men had been friends since high school. And she called the police because she found a body on the porch. And then they discovered 2 bodies in the backyard. And as of now, there's nothing.
Nothing. So this morning I saw it was an article in the Daily Mail. They're still at this point. They can't figure out what the hell happened.
Yeah, they're awaiting results of the autopsy and toxicology report. So we will follow along on this one and see what ends up happening with that.
They've been seen having ice cream with olive oil on it earlier in the evening.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right, and we'll do one more story. How about this? A girl's 10th birthday party turned into a nightmare when a hired entertainer poured liquid nitrogen on the host, leaving her with horrific burns. The birthday girl screamed in agony as her arms and legs were covered in second-degree burns in what appeared to be a stunt gone wrong.
Oh, my bad!
This took place in Moscow after the child was rushed to the hospital, and the female entertainer faces police action now. The schoolgirl's distraught mother told how she paid almost $400 for the entertainer at a shopping mall to entertain her daughter and a friend. She said that she was offered a discount equivalent of $60 by way of compensation for the mistake. The unnamed 10-year-old and her guests were treated with black ice cream and special drinks prepared by the performer. She appeared to have planned a grand finale, pouring liquid nitrogen over the birthday girl. But the stunt went badly wrong. Nothing was said about the use of liquid nitrogen, according to the mom. After a few seconds after the nitrogen hit her, she started screaming and was in pain.
Jeez.
Paramedics were called and they treated the girl. But the police are investigating and could bring charges against the party person. Liquid nitrogen has a low boiling point of negative 196 degrees Celsius. It's used for party tricks, but needs handling with extreme care. Contact may cause burns and frostbite, while accidental inhalation could actually kill you. But it's possible for liquid nitrogen to pass on the top of human flesh without freezing due to what's called the Lindros effect. It causes the liquid to produce a layer of insulating vapor that stops it from coming into direct contact with the surface, significantly hotter than the liquid's boiling point. So, you can have it run off of your skin real quick, but if it stays on there for too long, then it's going to start burning. So maybe that's what she was trying to do. I don't know.
Did the Lindros effect tour with CNC Music Company?
No, I don't think they did. So I think they were a solo act. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you. Let's take a break. Come back in a second. And lesson, question, trashy music news are on the way. So get ready to win something. Might have it for you. Be right back. Not really a beautiful day, but a more mild day today on this Thursday morning. We are, after all, right on the edge of a No Sad Bro Friday.
It's unbelievable.
This will be here before you know it. We'll give away our Word of the Week prize. We got a $500 Steven Singer gift card to award someone tomorrow. But for now, we have something else to give away. We are going to give away, via the lesson question, a pair of tickets as MMR rocks the Doobie Brothers with Steve Winwood, Saturday, August 3rd at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. So the question we pose to you now, dear listeners, I get my little info sheet here in front of me. Let's go with this. Eric Lindros was once as powerful as Moses, so much so that he once turned his hockey stick into a what? 215-263-WMMR. All right, let's see if you know. Eric Lindros was once as powerful as Moses, so much so that he once turned his hockey stick into a what? 215-263-WMMR. Call now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Before we get your answer, we'll get some stories. Let's do that. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Okay, Sofia Vergara is now being taken to court by additional family members of Griselda Blanco, who was a vicious and brutal Colombian cartel leader. The family is claiming that Vergara's portrayal of Blanco in a new Netflix series paints her as a vicious and brutal Colombian. Oh, never mind.
Oh, my God.
Hugh Hefner's widow, Crystal Hefner, revealing in her new autobiography, get this, that she never really loved the Playboy creator. Crystal admits that the only reason she married Hefner is because she adored his foul-smelling, old knotted penis.
Oh.
Whoa.
Hey!
And finally, Lucy Liu suggesting she would love to be part of a third Charlie's Angels movie with Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore. In fact, a script for the third movie does exist, in which Charlie communicates with the aging angels using a grand pad. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty, we'll go to the phone, see if someone knows the answer to this. Eric Lindros was once as powerful as Moses, so much so he turned his hockey stick into what? And it is Paul that will take a shot at this. Hey, Paul, good morning, buddy.
Morning. What's up, guys?
Yo, just looking for that answer. Eric Lindros would turn his stick into a what?
Serpent.
Serpent, yes. Yeah! Just like Moses did. Hang on, Paul. You got yourself a pair of tickets to see this band right here, the Doobie Brothers, who will be playing with Steve Winwood Saturday, August 3rd, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and tickets are on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. So congrats.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR. Blah, blah, blah.
All right, let's see here. I got some stories. We're going to start with one out of the Van Halen camp, and we have some audio to play along with this. So David Lee Roth, and I'm wearing my full Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, Frankenstein shirt and shoes today, so this is appropriate. David Lee Roth has called out Wolfgang Van Halen for allegedly throwing out some of the singer's guests during Van Halen's final tour. He posted this video on YouTube and is titled This Crazy Kid. It was originally named This Effing Kid.
Yeah.
And he talks about the incident in this clip. So let's play this, see what he has to say.
The brothers are playing I Walk Out on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. I'm about to launch into Ice Cream Man, and this kid, he commandeers two muscle monkeys, locates the one dame that is my guest. They find her, make her do the walk of shame past all the other guests and out into the parking lot, and throw her out of the building. Wolfie Van Halen's going to teach me a lesson by throwing out what he thinks is my girlfriend.
All right, and he explains a little bit more of the story. Here we go.
Guess what? What he doesn't know is that these two dames work for the accounting firm that represent him, not me. But as usual, he, just like his uncle and his uncle's brother, stiffed them for tickets. I know they're going to do that, so I got ahead of things and I give them tickets. And not only is she carrying the paychecks for 82 of us on the road crew, but she's carrying cash bonuses for everybody there. This kid. This kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But there's a little bit more to that. This
Yeah.
was the first part of the video. He talks about, Wolfie complaining about David not helping him out.
He's complaining the entire tour like I'm not paying enough attention to him on stage. And he's complaining to everybody around me. The business manager, the security guy, the clothing lady.
Dave's not paying enough attention to me.
So
So I don't know. You know, Wolfgang Van Halen is kind of, everyone says he's just about the nicest guy and sweet. I don't know. I don't know what went down or whatever, but it is David Lee Roth, who is prone to being hyperbolic.
Oh, yeah. And also, Dave, when Dave's on stage, it's about Dave.
Yeah.
So I could see Wolf being like, okay, I'm a member of the band too. Maybe give a little bit of love this way.
I'm more inclined to see Roth being dismissive of him.
Yeah.
And that being a reaction to it. But I don't know.
Yeah, he's certainly a talented musician.
Yeah.
Wolfgang is. So, but that's what Dave has to say. Whether or not Wolfie will say anything, who remains to be seen.
He also said this, Preston.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, with Van Halen, their first live album, Live Right Here, Right Now, will be available on LP, Black Vinyl, on February 23rd. The double platinum album, which was released in 1993, was recorded in 92 as the band was ending their world tour in support of their triple platinum record for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Did he have anything else to say? Like
yeah.
I forgot that he added that to it as well. So, all right, and then another piece of audio to play. Actually, we have a couple of songs because Melanie, the singer who performed at Woodstock in 1969 and had a major pop hits with Brand New Key and Lay Down Candles in the Rain in the early 1970s, died on Tuesday. She was 76 years old.
My bicycle past your window last night.
This is Brand New Key. This is a great song. It's cute.
And the rumor always was with this song that it was sexual.
Right. No information on the cause of death was immediately given, but Melanie, full name Melanie Safka, had been in the studio earlier this month working on a new record of cover songs. But her three children posted a message on Facebook writing, "We are heartbroken, but want to thank each and every one of you for the affection that you have for our mother and tell you that she loved all of you so much." Her first pop hit, which I believe we have,
we do.
Casey, Lay Down Candles in the Rain, was this. It was a gospel-flavored collaboration with Edwin Hawkins.
It's a great song.
And it reached number 6 on the Hot 100 in 1970. It was followed by, in 1971, by Brand New Key, an inescapable hit that was taken as a sort of children's tune by some and full of sexual innuendo by others. That reached number 1 and was her only other top 10 hit in the U.S. In the UK, she also reached the top 10 with a cover of the Rolling Stones' Ruby Tuesday. And she talked about Brand New Key in an interview years earlier in which she said, that was the bane of my existence for a few years. She said Brand New Key was perceived by many as a novelty song due to its childlike tone. But the singer said it was composed as a blues tune, but she sped it up in search of greater commercial appeal.
I could see it as a blues tune.
If you slowed it down, maybe so.
Slow it down, Case. Really slow it down.
Okay. All right, give me 1 second. I didn't know about this song, I think, until Boogie Nights is when I feel like I heard that for the first time. All right, so do you want me to really slow it down?
So you can get a real jazzy feel. Really slow it down.
Where was
Melanie, by the way, didn't always get her due in the male-dominated folk rock scene of the time and was too rarely mentioned, even in the company of female artists like Joni Mitchell. She speculated with The Guardian about why that might have been. She said it wasn't the age of smiling women. She said it had to be much more broody, and I was too cherubic. Men can be cute. Randy Newman can sing short people, and that's okay because he's a guy. He's got something to say. But a girl, how could she possibly have any social significance?
Well, men can be cute. I'm adorable.
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. Are we playing a little bit of that?
Yeah,
Super. All right, here we go.
I rode my bicycle past your window last night. I roller skated to your
Now,
it's maybe
here, I'm going to undo this.
Yeah.
And let's try this one more time.
I rode
my
bicycle past last night. I roller skated to your door at daylight.
sister.
Okay. In their Facebook statement, the singer's 3 children said, "We are planning a celebration of life for Mom. It'll be open for all who want to come and celebrate her, and the details will be announced soon as they are in place. We look forward to seeing you there." So,
one of the Woodstock women.
Yeah, 76 years old. All right, and that is the last story I have in music news for you. We'll break and return to wrap up the program. We'll get our letter of the day, word of the week, and other things when we get back. So stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
First partner who we turned the monitors up really loud in the studio for that. Stone in Love, one of my all-time favorite songs from Journey. And thank you for Case setting up some tunes that I really love this morning. Not that I don't love everything we play on MMR, but you have your favorite songs.
Of course.
I have my favorite songs. And it's my birthday today, so I got to
You love the
enjoy
Pina
that.
Colada song.
I actually do love the Pina Colada song. I think that's a fun one. Pierre's missing out. He needs to let go. He needs to relax. Loosen up. Let it happen. Be there. Anyway, I would like to thank our guest for being on the show. Eric Lindros was here this morning. Well, in spirit. He was on Zoom because he's not in town yet, but he's coming in tomorrow, I believe. And then they have the alumni game.
So cool.
We had a chance for a listener to win a really cool prize. Ended up with a meet and greet with Eric, and he was a lot of fun. So it was great having him on the air this morning. And then we had celebrity chef Nick Elmi stop by, and we tried vanilla ice cream with olive oil and sea salt.
The Dua Lipa way.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to order that again. But it was good. Kathy hated it.
I hated it.
Yep, just not your thing.
Nope.
Well, the cream and the sweet with the oily does not mix.
I liked the
you.
salt on it. That's
a home run for you?
That was good.
Yep.
I knew it. I knew what I was not going to like about it because anything that is too much olive oil for me, that too much of that taste I don't like. And
Do you dip bread into olive
yes,
oil?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Completely fine with it. I cook with olive oil. Like I don't cook with olive oil. Let's not joke around.
You know people who cook with
I
oil.
know people. I eat their food.
And I would also like to thank Marissa for trying to give me a birthday cake this morning, but we got a great video out of it as she dropped it while trying to present it to me here live on the air. But successfully, Acme, our great friends at Acme, set us up with a wonderful carrot cake.
That's a hell of a carrot cake.
For my birthday, and it's quite yummy, but you got to see the video of Marissa dropping this cake. It's the best.
I don't want to overshadow it. Thank you for the beautiful cake, Casey.
Oh, yes.
Really, really good job.
What was the cake, by the way? Was it?
It was just a regular
Sheet cake?
yellow, I guess sheet cake, but buttercream. Buttercream, what I went for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
You can
dropped
see
it.
you can see Casey's artwork on our Instagram page right now.
Yeah, because there's video of him decorating it. Did you decorate it here?
No, I did it last night.
You did it
I
last night
actually
at home?
prepared last night.
So you drove, you got the cake, you brought it home, you put the
Decorated
icing,
it.
you decorated it, you brought it into work
I
early
worked
in the
so
morning.
hard on that, and then
somebody tossed it
This
on
is
the
just
ground.
what it's missing is fibers from our carpet.
which honestly, to be honest, that actually made everything worth it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. All right. So anyhow, it's been fun. So thank you, everyone. We need to do the letter today. You gonna do that?
I got you.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, and the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
N as in nerd.
All right, and we have a $500 Steven Singer gift card. You can say I love you with the world's best gift from Steven Singer Jewelers.
Yes.
A Malibu pink 24-karat gold dipped rose. The brand new color is available now and only available at IHateStevenSinger.com. I will take, thank you, it's from Revenge of the Nerds. I will take a moment to thank our sponsors today. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan, and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. It's also brought to you by Meineke Car Care. You won't pay a lot, but you will get a lot. Tomorrow happens to be No Sad Bro Friday. And we will have in studio comedian Dustin Nickerson.
Nice.
And we'll give away our Word of the Week prize. And we'll do a bunch of other stuff, too, for Friday morning. Connoisseur. We'll have some new mini melts to try, too. All right, so that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.